everyone. Welcome to Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. I am your host, LeRon Dawkins, and I've got a crew that is here and ready to talk about everything PlayStation and gaming tonight. So, get ready. Here with me, as always, is the resident PlayStation doctor and the true big daddy of the Rapture, Mr. Austin Campbell.
It is officially the year of me. There are too many things up my alley that are like my favorite things that are just coming out and being announced this year. I feel like this is the year that NFL Street 2 comes back. It's the year that Burnout 3. Anything's possible at this point. We're getting a Blue's Clues universe crossover movie. I mean, come on now. This is the year of Austin. This is the summer of Austin.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's going to be a night already.
I'm concerned.
Joining us tonight from various Boss Rush Network shows, such as Nintendo Pal Block, Talk the Walk, and 1v1, say hello to the enlightened and very excited Eddie Varnell.
Shout out to my elite block agents. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello, all my stationaries and arsenals out there. How's it going? I'm glad to be here.
You got it right on this show, but not the show that I show up one time.
Oh, and I also got to throw up the X for all the arsenals out there. Shout out to them.
We don't do that anymore, Ed.
I know.
You don't do that anymore.
I know, but I'm excited to be on Crossroads, to have all the gamers around the world check out the show and listen to the podcast. Really excited to be on. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I was trying to calm down from this Nintendo Direct that I've been watching like 8 times.
You know what? Give us a second. We'll talk about it real quickly. Even though this is a PlayStation show, we'll talk about it.
All those kids are watching like Encanto over and over again, and Ed's watching the Nintendo Direct over and over again. I imagine he knows all the songs.
Or
he can quote it word by word by now.
You could be like me, where my daughter watches Encanto over and over again, and I have the Direct on my phone playing over and over.
That voice belongs to the man who doesn't really need an introduction, but gets one anyway, just to say special around.
I do. I need a special one. I need a good one.
Hey, head honcho, boss rush, like elite man. I don't know. I'm out of it. Well, welcome back to Team Crossroads, Mr. Corey Dirrig. What's up, man?
I'm here. I still don't own a PlayStation, but I'm here. LeRon keeps inviting me. So, whoops.
Let's just put it this way. You haven't done anything that warrants being disinvited yet.
It's true.
Only one person on this panel has done something that almost got them disinvited.
What did I do?
You played Ghost of Tsushima. That's what you did.
Happy birthday, Vita. There, do I get to stay?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, Austin, he scooped you.
No, I already know he was talking shit about the Vita earlier. I don't want to hear that. Corey put it like it is your birthday sign, like Dwight in The Office. Like that's what he put up for the Vita. I'm here to give it its final welcome. Give it the Viking funeral it deserves at this point. Did I turn it on today in celebration? No, I did not. I'm gonna let it.
Why not?
Where is my Vita at? It's still packed up. Like I haven't done the best job of unpacking since I moved into this place. I am
probably in
over,
the garbage.
I am
where
over
it
a
deserves
month
to be. Just kidding.
Wow.
Sorry.
Listen, there's so many good
microphone.
games.
How many boxes do you still have, LeRon?
I mean, what?
How many boxes do you still have?
Shit. They are all ensconced in both of my closets here in my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Shit. We don't talk about that.
LeRon,
yes.
Since you had a Vita,
mm-hmm.
what are the quick hits? What are the quick hits? The games that you have to play on Vita?
Killzone Liberation.
Ooh.
The Ratchet and Clank collection.
Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted Golden Abyss. Thank you. Uncharted Golden Abyss. There's a couple. Oh, Wipeout.
Gravity Rush.
Yes, hell yeah, Gravity Rush. Hell yeah, but you know what? If you miss Gravity Rush on the Vita, then definitely pick it up on PS4. Backwards compatible for PS5.
Yeah.
Do that. Yep.
Freedom Wars.
Great game, by the
I
way.
was not a fan of Freedom Wars. Like, okay, all those games they're Monster Hunter clones.
Fail.
No, was not a fan. Was not a fan. No Soul Sacrifice, no Freedom Wars. What was it? What was the other game? There was
God Eater.
God Eater. Yep, not a fan.
Let me tell you, Freedom Wars, best Monster Hunter clone. I'll say that. That.
Actually, what was it? What was it? Tukaiden? That is a Monster Hunter clone that I'm okay with, but I didn't.
So weird that Vita didn't get a Monster Hunter game.
Because Capcom decided they wanted to get in bed with Nintendo.
I mean, it did sell 3DSs and made series.
It sold PSPs though.
It sold PSPs before it sold 3DSs.
Well, that is true.
Shit, don't.
I think the writing on the wall was for the Vita though, because clearly PlayStation didn't want to promote it. So why would Capcom try? You know?
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing about it though is like the Vita had dual analog sticks, which is according to, I'm not one of those Monster Hunter people, and I've been playing Monster Hunter since 2004. But according to Monster Hunter people out there, like the dual analog sticks is where it's at to play these games. I'm like, fuck no. I played the first one with dual analog sticks, and when they went to the freehand method where you use the face buttons, I was like, that's the shit. That's how you do it. Because guess how you play it on the Switch right now? Guess how you play it on the 3DS right now? You play it freehand.
So funny that they have that, and it was hard to find a memory card for that system.
Now I did love when Monster Hunter Tri was on the Wii. I did love using the Wiimote.
Yes.
The gesture combat was the shit.
What's weird is my wife doesn't play games, but she actually played Monster Hunter on the Wii, like online, and got into it. Like that was like a thing that she got into. It's like one of the few.
Damn. I knew I liked your wife. I knew I did.
I never even played that Monster Hunter game. I never played Monster Hunter on the Wii. She's like, no, we played online and everything. It's like, damn, that's hardcore. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Using that waggle, I imagine.
So how you guys been so far this week?
Man, watching the Cyberpunk thing was good.
I missed it.
You know what? It really wasn't. They did say to give up the updates, and we'll probably talk about it later. But it was just kind of like almost like a 40-minute presentation. You didn't really miss much.
40 minutes.
Yeah, it was. It was a 40-minute
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. They talked about the patch as well as they talked about the patch as well as the PS5 rollout.
Yeah, and
35 minutes of that.
It took them 40 minutes to say that they fixed the game.
And what was it like? I think it was a 17-minute playthrough of the PS5 version.
Yeah, for the intro of it.
We promise it works.
Yeah, it looks like it's a steady frame rate. It may be 60. They didn't actually say which one it was.
On Xbox, the stats on the store say it's 60. It's 60 frames with a dynamic 4K resolution.
Okay.
And ray tracing.
Then I'm pretty sure that's what it hit on the PS5 as well.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that because like the only place I'm playing it at is on PC. What.
Yeah. I haven't
released it.
What's that?
Not this week. It would have been better. How are you going to release it the week of Horizon? Get out of here with that mess. Get out of here.
Well, shoot. That's
notice they released it 3 days before Cyberpunk because they knew. I mean before Horizon because they knew if they release it anytime immediately after Horizon comes out, nobody's getting it. Not for all the bad press it got. Nobody's getting it.
Shoot, it was It's $30 right now on Xbox. I don't know how much it's on PlayStation.
I think it's on Game Pass.
You know, it's not.
I think did they not release it on Game Pass today?
No, because I was checking checking Game Pass and they didn't have it on there, so it's not on there.
Maybe it's
yeah.
They released 8 games today, but Cyberpunk wasn't one of them on Game Pass unless they put out another announcement.
Yeah, I think they're just doing the sale for it and everything, but it looked really good from what they showed. So. I was really impressed. I know some people have downloaded, but I haven't seen like a lot of talk about it just yet. And I think it's still crashing on some people PCs. But on
PCs,
yeah, because
if it's crashing on people's PCs, I'm not going to be that guy tonight. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good from what I see. And then, like I said, the Nintendo Direct is just that hotness.
It don't crash on my PC.
Did they announce a Switch version yet?
You know what? You know what? I
don't even think a cloud version is going to work.
I actually was thinking
None
about
of the
that.
other cloud versions of anything work, so why would this one?
Yeah,
Well,
I've heard the
Hitmaker sure
nightmare
does.
about Kingdom Hearts. I've heard.
Let's not
yeah.
go there. I already had my anger issues with that last week.
Anybody else want to chime in?
I
How did
want
we
to know
spin
who
before?
bought Kingdom Hearts at this point. Who actually bought Kingdom Hearts?
So
No. Kingdom Hearts landed number 3 on the US eShop.
yeah, they reported that. Now I am planning on buying it.
Yo! I don't know what it is about American gamers. Like Kingdom Hearts has their fucking nuts in the vice, man.
Look,
American
I like
gamers?
Kingdom Hearts. I love Kingdom Hearts. I just will not buy. I will not buy the cloud version.
I don't know if I like Kingdom Hearts enough to. I have every game. I don't know if I like it enough to rebuy it at this point, though.
I think I just want to get it to see how it is. Like, actually get my hands on and try it. Because this and Dying Light 2 on Switch are going to probably be the only cloud games that I get for at the time being.
The only cloud version I've played that works any way, shape, or form was Control.
And they said that Hitman
And
3
I heard that, and I heard Control was a stretch.
Control was. Here's the thing. I couldn't notice on Control until I could. And I know that doesn't say a lot, but like
No. It's like that meme. If you know, you know.
And like I was playing it, I was like, oh man, this actually runs pretty fluid. And I was like, oh, let's try the 60 frames a second mode, and it ran perfect. Like I didn't even notice that it was a cloud version until all of a sudden it froze, and the sound was like, brrr, and then like it was like a choppy black screen, and then it did like the whole like, oh, it's buffering, and it's like
wow,
that's
360p.
Dang.
And like
360p,
something like that.
Are you sure it didn't jump back to 240? Come on, man.
I don't know. It was like, but like the first like 20 minutes of it was it ran flawlessly, and then it was just like, nope, I'm done. I don't want to work for you anymore.
Oh wow. Yeah. So, but that's pretty much me, and then just working 6 days, so people can get their Valentine's Day stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, and also
Happy
record
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and also begin to record with Corey for our direct recap. And
Ed made me record with him for 4.5 hours last week.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. It was fun. I missed it.
Made you, I'm sure.
No, it was a joke. We did the direct recap show on what night was that? Thursday night.
Thursday night. Yeah,
it was Thursday
after Tower Casuals, and then
it was Thursday. You were ignoring my text. Thursday. It was Thursday.
You know what? You texted me on Thursday?
No, I didn't.
I was gonna say what? I missed that. What's that?
Real quick, LeRon.
Yeah, what's up?
It's not in the notes, so I'm bringing it up now. BioShock Netflix movie. It's coming.
Yeah, another video game.
I'm excited, but I'm
that's why I
scared.
called you. That's why I called you True Big Daddy of the Rapster. I knew you were on that. I knew you were on that.
Well, I thought that was a foreshadowing of what was coming later, but I just looked through the notes again and didn't see it on there. So now I'm bringing it up now. I'm scared and excited at the very same time. I would like.
Wait. It's Netflix. I think Netflix will do a good job of it.
The only thing that's got me a little worried is it's a movie and not a TV show, and so that means it's going to be truncated in that time frame.
Well, first of all,
but the game isn't that long.
Yeah, but what you need to do is temper expectations, because it might not even be following all the events of the game.
My expectations are way too high already, so I can't do that.
Is it going to be animated or live action?
As far as I know, live action.
Live action. I think it's live action.
But Danny DeVito, Andrew Ryan, that is the push. I'm making a petition. I want Danny DeVito to constantly say, would you kindly do this? Would you kindly do that? Would you kindly... I want Danny DeVito to say those lines so badly now. my friend Nick was like, Danny DeVito should be in the movie, and I said that's exactly where I want him. And then spoilers for BioShock, get beaten with the club at the end.
Wow.
I'm thinking of playing it again. By the time the movie comes out,
I have that whole collection on the Switch.
I have it on PS4.
I will probably play through it again. I already wanted to, and now that this is happening, and the fourth game is coming out this year. I'm telling you.
I can't remember for sure. I can't remember for sure if it was Digital Foundry or whatnot, but somebody gave it like a nice review for the Switch collection. So I don't feel bad about the fact that I bought the collection on the Switch.
You know, me and Corey did try to play it for Pod and Play, and ooh, the struggle.
If you
the Switch
do
version?
the puzzles,
Switch version?
No, the
the Xbox version.
Yeah.
Of what? What did we try to do?
Remember we tried to do BioShock for Pod and Play?
Oh yeah, no, pass. I don't like BioShock.
All right, Austin, what were you about to say?
If you can do the puzzles, the water pipe, which is like the worst part about the game, on the touchscreen on Switch, that might be the definitive way to play it. Just for that reason, having a touchscreen instead of going back and forth over there. That's all I can think of. Dude,
I skipped that whole part. I did not like those puzzles.
The puzzles are terrible. The puzzles is the worst part. It's just like your generic, like, those phone games where like there's water and you have to change the pipe shapes to get into one side of the other water.
Yeah,
the alligator app game. It's terrible. It's the worst part of the game by far.
Sounds riveting. Can't wait.
But everything else is way better. It's the best
Corey
game
sounds
ever.
so into it.
Besides that,
I'm sorry. I just don't like BioShock. I'm that guy.
Corey sucks. So I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the end of the discussion.
Wow.
I don't know.
No, he does not, Austin.
Jesus! You know what, guys? I swear I can't have all you in the same room sometimes.
You invited us all. Whose fault's that? This is what, your 70th episode? You should know by now.
You know what? This is Crossroads PlayStation Podcast and Boss Rush Games. Every week we come together bringing you the latest news, rumors, games, and discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads airs live on twitch.tv/Exodus803 Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we have guests. If you can't check out the show live, head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of the other podcast locations that you may want to check out our show at and go get it. The recap of this show airs the following Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Exodus803, as well as early Thursday mornings on youtube.com/Boss Rush Network. If you want to see previous episodes of our show, all of our episodes can be found on the parent website for this show, which is bossrush.net. And if you like the show, consider subscribing to the podcast and giving us a follow on Twitch. You can also do us a big favor and remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out the show. All right, housekeeping is out the way, so that means we can now start talking about those video games that we have been playing.
Everybody seems to like those video games.
So, you know what? I'm not gonna highly suggest that we do something about our list of games that we're about to talk about, but it's rather suggested that we do something about the list of games that we're going to talk about. So, Ed, what have you been playing this week?
So I'm just gonna keep it to two. Started up Dragon Quest 11 on Switch. Runs smooth. It looks really good. Definitely on the OLED. I'm like, oh my goodness, this game looks beautiful. I really can't tell the difference between that and the PS4 version. And the soundtrack is amazing, but it has some good Sony headphones. It sounds so crystal clear. I really am enjoying it. Last but not least, I am playing Dying Light 2. I'm halfway through the game. I just got to Rosario Dawson's character, Lawman.
Wait, who?
Rosario Dawson.
Oh, yeah, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, sorry, okay. I said her name wrong. I
number 3 on my list. Okay.
Oh,
sorry. Continue.
I am going to be writing the review for it.
Wait, what's the game again?
Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2. Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing it on Series X, and
Wait,
I
she's a featured voice actress in this game.
yeah
Okay.
yeah
She's a full-on character, isn't she? Isn't she in mocap?
yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from where I'm at right now. It's like almost the halfway point of the game. So I just met her, and I got my parachute. And they're just opening up some more stuff. This game is not 500 hours. If it is 500 hours, 100 of it is from the restarting the game because it crashed, the audio issues, or or people falling through the world.
This is on what
Um,
system?
on Series X.
On Series X. On
Yeah,
Series X. Okay.
X. Yeah, it's been
Actually, I did read somewhere it was plagued with bugs the opening week.
yeah, it still have bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the the audio issue will make characters skip dialogue.
Wow. What?
Yeah, so while you are on the cutscene, if you hear the buzz, they're about to do their talk and do their motion and it just skips. So it auto skips everything and you literally have to restart from where it's at.
Remember when gamers like us, like average Joes, just used to beg for betas so we could test their games for them?
hmm
Why don't they do that shit anymore?
I think it's for Dying Light. I think because they had too many delays.
All they do now when they release a beta is to load the servers to see if the servers can handle it. And guess what? The servers aren't the problem.
Yeah. Um. It's my review. I'm going to be writing. Hopefully, you guys will give it a read. But I can already tell you right now, it is not Game of the Year nominations.
At least not from you, huh?
It may be
No, no,
close.
no, no.
It may be close to the Razzies, but it's not.
Nah, I don't think any game is beating Battlefield this year. I don't think any game is beating Battlefield this year for a Razzie.
Well. Well.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. I mean, Prince of Persia is supposed to be coming out this year.
We still have Babylon's Fall coming out, so
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
like
heavy
I'm starting to hear bad things about that. I mean, Platinum Games' reputation is about to be tarnished if this game comes out the way they're talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, and I am planning.
Don't worry, it's getting a demo. You'll be able to play it at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's true.
I am planning on getting Horizon not Zero Dawn, Forbidden West on PlayStation 4. I am excited, and then I'll be doing the Nintendo Online for Nintendo Sports, Nintendo Switch Sports, because I really want to play volleyball.
I'm interested in that too. I am interested in that too. All right,
Yeah.
Corey, you're up.
For what games I've been playing?
Yeah.
That doesn't count. Let's see. I've been
Wait,
playing...
what doesn't count? Is
I
it
don't
something
know.
you're embarrassed about?
No, I mean, I've been playing Destiny. I am getting ready for the Witch Queen next week, and it's. I mean, gosh, dude, the Witch Queen trailer today, it was just like it was all hype. It was like they know Bungie knows how to make a trailer to get people excited. I mean, they released the exorcism mission today, which was like the mission everybody's been waiting for, the exorcism of Savathun, and man, what a woo! I'm excited.
Well, like before we went live, like we saw the excitement you had, man. Like
yeah, I probably watched it like 4 or 5 times today.
You probably would have been doing your happy dance if you hadn't just located your toe.
Yeah. Well, that's a different story. Yeah, but I've been playing that. I've been trying to get a couple of my other classes leveled up this week, just because there's some cool new things they're adding to the game, and I would like to try them out. So,
I still gotta give it to Bungie. Their trailers like that are just so good.
I don't know. So I'm saying,
what's one new thing that you can talk about right now?
What in the
for upcoming
the Throne World, the new play space it's a mix it's like a haunted version of it, like the way Throne Worlds work in Destiny is like it's the visual manifestation of the like the enemy's kind of inner mind type thing, and then like as they rise to power, like you go to the Ascendant Plane and you see their Throne World, and so like this is only the third Throne World that we've seen. We saw Oryx's Throne World in Taken King. This past season, we saw Mara Sov, the Queen of the Awoken, her Throne World, and now we're going into Savathun's Throne World, and it's the big thing with this is that the Savathun and her army have taken the light, which is what the Guardians use to fight with, and they've stolen the light, and so you get to fight other Hive Guardians, which is like the enemy, and it's going to be nuts. And like to completely kill them, you have to crush their ghosts, and that's a new mechanic in this campaign.
Ooh.
It's just can't wait. I'm excited.
Is it out? Is it next week? It's out or
Tuesday.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for that. I'm excited to play it.
So sleepless nights in Corey's future.
Yeah. They're also adding weapon crafting, and they're changing the way.
I heard about that weapon crafting.
Mm-hmm. Weapon crafting, and they're changing the way the subclasses work. So they're pretty much going full on action RPG with this instead of just like a
MMO kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like
you mean the game is becoming more and more like Monster Hunter?
They're adding like the subclasses you get to like craft specifically to your play style instead of like picking one of three different things. So I'm excited. Watch the trailer. It's awesome.
You know what? Link us and I'll definitely check it out.
You could go to bossrush.net and click on my article about the new trailer, LeRon.
See, that's why I said link us. That's why because I knew you had it ready. Anything else, man, or is this Destiny 2 that has all your attention these past few days?
Well, 2 days ago I started Mass Effect. And I played through Eden Prime, so that's
okay. So
progress.
Here's my question then: Are you gonna be joining Stoy and I for our next installment?
No, I'm not gonna be done by then. No, Mass Effect's your guys's. You didn't invite me to the first one. I don't want to pity invite to the next two.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's not a pity invite. It's like, hey, we see you doing this thing, so we want to take you with us.
No, you don't invite me to the Mass Effect one. Ed doesn't invite me to the Wii U one, even though he knows I think it's the best Nintendo console of all time in terms of software. You know, it's fine. I don't need to be on my own show. It's cool.
God, look at the salt.
Corey, I will start a podcast with just Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U, and you're invited, and we'll have our own podcast.
The best version of the game.
See, now I need someone to clip this because I'm gonna send this segment right now to Stoy, so we can get our arsenal ready for this.
Oh wow! Are you going to
Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U is the definitive way to play that, except for you don't get any of the previous stories.
I don't understand any of these lies you're talking right now.
You actually get to draw paths for your allies to like.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
It is cool. Wow. You're just jealous because
are you going to do the?
My name's LeRon. I don't like the Wii U. Didn't have a good Monster Hunter on it. Just had an HD version of the Wii one.
Hey, actually, the HD version was good.
LeRon, are you going to do all of the Mass Effect games?
Yes. Yeah, we're debating on Andromeda. We're debating about that, but we are doing the main three.
Yeah. The drawing the routes thing sounds cool and all, but I remember when I got Madden 07 on the DS, and you could draw your hot routes for your wide receivers, and that thing was lame as shit. So
your first mistake was playing Madden on the DS. Okay, that was your first mistake. It's barely functional on the proper consoles, let alone
exactly.
This was back when Madden was good. Okay, this is when it was good.
What was it?
Yeah, it was good all the way up till 10. After 10,
are you sure? Because NFL 2K was the series.
Madden hasn't been good since the original Xbox and PS2. Okay, that's where I draw the line.
these were all on the PS2. You forget I had a PS3 late, so Madden 10 I had on PS2 and everything before
Ooh.
that, and it was fantastic.
Madden, yes, okay, I'll give you that one then.
Yeah, but then
I
once you
love
get
Madden on the
PS3,
PS2.
they cut all the cool stuff.
That Madden's coming to Game Pass in like next week, I think. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to load it up and see what I missed.
It's you didn't
Won't be
miss
much.
anything. Spoiler alert.
I know.
Also,
I
NBA
played the 10-hour
2K22,
demo.
Awful.
I played the demo. I played the demo of Madden because you get a 10-hour demo if you subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, and I got my fill of online games. I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to delete it. I'm not going to buy this. I'll wait till it comes to Game Pass, and then I'll play it, and then I won't. So,
Well, Austin, since you have the mic right now, go ahead and let us know what you've been playing this past week.
well, who said I was done, LeRon?
You named 2 games. Did you have more?
Nope, it's fine. Austin, what are you playing? I'm sure it's fun.
Corey, I want you to finish. I want you to give your final thoughts.
I was just about to tell Corey, don't be that way. Don't be like that.
I don't
Austin
want you to
gets
get blue
me,
balls
okay?
on this, okay? I don't want you to get blue balls on this show. I want you to finish.
You know what?
You want to blow his whole load on us, right?
You know what?
You know what?
I
Hey,
always.
Austin, I'm not going to invite any of these fools to our heavyweights standard definition, okay?
Oh wow!
It's just going to be you and me.
Yeah,
You
that's
already
right.
you already know that when it comes to when games get played, if it's called an ed, that means that the list is too long. And because I know the shade, LeRon, that you said, Corey, that one episode. You're just like, goodness, I didn't tell you to do Ed's list. I'm like, the shade.
Speaking of Ed's list, mine. I finished Uncharted 4 and I beat Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh, congrats.
And I'm going to give an updated list of how I would rate the Uncharted games now.
Oh, really?
Because I've thought about it.
And we still have to talk about it, Austin. So yeah. I will be running to do 4 in Lost Legacy.
Yeah, when Ed finishes 4 in Lost Legacy, we will talk about them. And if anyone else wants to finish it, they can join.
So give you preference. I already finished both games, but I just need to replay them for the discussion.
Yeah. Well, so I had not played Lost Legacy, and I had played 4 before. Playing 4, I love it way more now, and I played it a different way than I did last time.
Wait. This is the same way you told me about last week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Plus,
Go ahead. Do you think?
I did not even think or care to grab any of the collectibles. Because let me tell you, when you just go straight through Uncharted 4 and go straight through the story beats, that is the best way to play it. These extra things that they try to put, listen, I love you, Naughty Dog, but stop giving me lame ways to drive a vehicle. I don't care. Don't do it. Like, I don't care. Please. If it's
remember the what was the one trophy in Uncharted 1 where you had to do the jet ski for X amount of meters.
Oh,
yeah. That one's also not great. But at least that one has it's just an action scene, and while it sucks for a little bit, it's fine. But all right, we're gonna give you a big open world type thing, and we're gonna let you drive this vehicle around. No, don't. Which Lost Legacy also did that, and it also sucked. So unless I'm shooting people in the vehicle, yeah. But Lost Legacy, they have on Chapter 4, they have an open world part where you have to go to 5 different towers or whatever.
Yeah,
that sucked. I didn't like it, but all I'm saying is, Naughty Dog, unless I'm shooting someone or I'm blowing stuff up while I'm in the vehicle, don't make me drive the vehicle. You're not Gran Turismo, okay? You're not Dirt 5. Don't try to be. Do what you do best. Now, that being said, Uncharted 4 has gone up in my list. I still say 3 is the best one.
Really?
Then 4. Then Lost Legacy. Then 2. Then 1. That's my definitive list.
Where's Golden Abyss fall at?
Golden Abyss, I would say, I'm gonna say under 4 above Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy, I'm gonna say this, got way overhyped. Way overhyped.
It got way overhyped. You know,
I
don't think it got. I don't
outside-
think it got overhyped. More along the facts that people had Nathan Drake fatigue.
I think that's probably it, but like everyone was saying this is the best Uncharted ever. And outside the last 2 chapters, it was a mediocre Uncharted, in my opinion.
So I feel like Lost Legacy is the best. I think Uncharted 4 was just too long. It's not a bad game, but I feel like it was just too long. Like it really dragged. Same with 2.
I would agree, which is why I suggest when you play through it, just go straight for the story beats because it's way more enjoyable that way.
That's
way
the thing.
enjoyable.
That's the thing about it. I went through the story beats and the game was still too long. I wasn't trying to get no collectibles or anything. I was really trying to go through that whole game. And when they started adding the dream sequences when he was a kid, and then you have to replay the beginning again, and then they made that part longer, I was just like, this is way too long. It's not long as the Last of Us Part 2, but it's long. So, but we'll discuss it though.
Yeah. Before it's
Austin,
good.
Anything else you had going on, Austin?
I unfortunately played NBA 2K22, and I think I'm really considering trading it in for 2K21 because I just don't like it.
Ooh.
It's bad. And then I played Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
That was a fun game. It was a fun game. I appreciate it. I just like anytime he got important documents, or even if like someone just like, hey, I appreciate you. Here's a drawing I made. He just rips it. He just rips it right in front of them. Like he doesn't care. I appreciate that. Turnip Boy's a savage.
Wow.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I played.
All right. I'm also part of the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves club right now. I'm currently playing Uncharted 4 in it right now. I think I'm in chapter 6. It's the one where it's the one. Let's put it this way: it's the one right before I know for sure Elena's going to find us. Let's put it that way. Because we're yeah.
Oh, in the hotel.
Yeah, unless my memory, because it's been I haven't played Uncharted 4 since it was brand new. So unless my memory is just
7-8.
Okay, yeah, then, okay, then I'm really close to it then because we just got through and unlike Austin, I'm not doing the run and gun style, but I'm also not going out of my way to explore every damn thing because I've already played this game before and I just never beat it, so I'm just trying to beat it this time. But I just got past the part where you wind up in that old abandoned village and like it's like you guys you didn't even step foot in the damn village and all of a sudden like the goons show up and like you fucking gunning and shooting for your life and everything. It's like, come on, dude. like all I know is there's a time to stealth and there's a time to just kick ass. But I do love, one of the things I do love though is like when you ambush somebody like around the corner and you just and you just start whipping their ass like prison yard style. I love those sequences. And of course back on Monster Hunter Rise. But yeah.
I gotta see you streaming. I want to see it on PC so bad, dude. I want to see how gorgeous it is.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. There's just one thing I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's the game, but the game has like a momentary like stutter problem. It doesn't. It's not consistent or anything, but I'm not sure if it's the online aspect of it or whatnot, but when I'm playing with other people, like it will stutter or lag for like a second and then it's done, and I need to figure out what that is. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's the game.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's everything I've been playing, and Yeah, sounds like a decent round of gaming that we've had this past week.
Yeah.
So
I'm really just looking for Forbidden West. I'm trying to play through like some short 1
I
hour,
think
2 hour games.
I think
But
you and all the PlayStation fans are just waiting for it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it feels like we've been waiting forever for this game. So
Yeah.
all
And I
all
had
that
that day
is.
off of work. Not working that Friday. I am ready to go to Walmart and buy my copy and go home and play.
Oh, I'm
He said,
already. About,
he said he's about to save his $10.
oh, shoot, I'm about
That's
to.
right. That's right.
Hey man,
I'm about to pre-order it
you
at
got to
Best
save
Buy.
money where you can. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
$10 is $10. Okay,
That's true. That's true. This year is going to be crucial. So save that money.
That $10, I
I'm
can go
just-
get me some
use your-
Doritos. I mean, who knows?
Use your
what I
Best
can
Buy
do.
certificates.
You could buy-
do what you got to do.
Dude,
2
those
bags of Doritos, 2 Mountain Dews, and like I don't know,
them Best
something
Buy
else.
them Best Buy gift cards. The blessings.
Here's a tip. Like if you
Just a tip.
here's a tip to have your Best Buy certificates pay for your games. Like if you live with people that like you're always the one going out the door, and just find out they need something from Best Buy, and then take their card and just make their purchase and everything, because they're gonna give you your card and stuff. But make sure you give them your Best Buy number.
Mhm.
Get the reward certificates. Like shoot,
Yeah.
a couple years ago, like every time like the roommates needed something, like I was like, hey, I'm heading to Best Buy, because I mean I'm an IT guy, so I'm always in Best Buy anyway. So yeah, I'm heading to Best Buy. Shit, I bought a television, uh, a TV, a refrigerator, a dishwasher. The roommates needed this. The roommates had me go buy this stuff, right? So yeah, like all that shit went on my all that shit went to my Best Buy rewards account. I could have bought a PS5. I could have bought a PS5 with just the reward certificates. Yeah, so there's your pro tip for this, because this is going to be a harrowing year for gaming. Gaming
Yes.
budgets, wallet, and inflation's here. Thank God video games are not affected by inflation. We'd be fucked.
Yet.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the meat and potatoes of the actual episode tonight here, and that starts off right now with our new and notable games for this week, which is the week of 14th of February to the 20th of February. So guys, if you hadn't noticed, if you hadn't heard yet, a surprise drop happened today for PS5. And the first AAA title, the first AAA first party Sony title, is making its landfall this week. We've already been talking about that title. So while there are a few games that we have to mention, to get through this week, the one that everyone has their eye on, of course, is Horizon Forbidden West. So here's our
not
lineup.
Valentine Candy Break 2.
You mean
That's not what everyone's talking about?
You mean that game that conveniently came out on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, and that you can get a platinum trophy in 8 minutes.
Wow.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yes, on yesterday, Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, Can You Escape, Heart of the Woods, and Valentine Candy Break 2 all came out on PS4. Austin already gave you the scoop on one of those games. Wasn't another one of those games like a quick, easy platinum?
Well, Heart of the Woods is a graphic novel, so probably an easy platinum. Valentine Candy Break 2 looks like a My Name is Mayo type game. You can get it platinum in 8 minutes. Can You Escape looks like a really, I don't want to say cheap, but I kind of want to say cheap platformer. So
Creative idea.
probably- I mean, it might be someone's first game, so I don't want to say anything, but it reminds me of Bouncy Bob that I bought for $1 on the Switch. So
We classify it now as a creative idea.
Now, if you're living in the here and now on the 15th of February, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires came out on PS5 and PS4, but the game that everybody's talking about for today was a stealth drop by CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS5. The PS5 version of CP77 is out now, and as promised, it's a free PS4 to PS5 upgrade if you already own the game. So I figure that a lot of people who have bought the game for PS4 were heartbroken about its performance, had enough time to get a PS5. That way, the game is now free to play on a modern console that can actually handle the load of the game. So I hope that's what happened. But if not, PlayStation had a pretty good January, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So there is hope for you guys out there. Now, all you have to do, if you already own this game, go to your library on the PS5 and select the newly added PS5 version and go to the product page or hit the PS Store and grab it from there. Your PS5 will tell you off the bat that it's like a 95 gigabyte download, but don't worry, that's not the case. Once you're actually downloading it, the file size drops to around 56 gigabytes, which, the day and age we live in, thank God for compression. As mentioned by CD Projekt Red, the PS5 version of CP77 features improved performance, a ray tracing mode, and DualSense functionality. It also comes with all the additions and improvements that are offered by the 1.5 update, which our buddy Eddie V talked about in an actual article on BossRush.net. So check that out.
Yes.
And then on the 17th of February, we have King of Fighters 15 for PS5 and PS4, which features the all new 15 that transcends everything. Past KOF heroes will unite, and it has 39 star-studded characters from across the franchise to play with. They're ready to fight. We've also got voice of cards, the Forsaken Maiden on PS4. Ed's excited about that. Ed, you have some words on that?
Oh, everybody, this is the follow-up to Voice of Card. It's not an actual sequel story-wise, but man, the game is fantastic. They look like they added some new abilities to it, like gameplay ideas and mechanics, but I don't fully know yet. But I'm excited to play this game. If you haven't played the first one, the Isle of Dragons, I advise you to go out and pick up that game. This is so much fun, and it's only this one is probably going to be the same as the last one, where it's only about 6 to 7 hours to beat, and it won't take you that long. It's really, really good. So I'm literally excited to be playing this game.
Yep.
I still need to play the first one, but it's on my list. It's on my list, highly on my list.
So, here we go. Lastly, on the 18th of February, this Friday, we have the long-awaited Horizon Forbidden West coming to PlayStation 5 and PS4. Forbidden West is set 6 months after the first game's conclusion, and Aloy is traveling far and wide to prevent the world from spiraling into another mass extinction. Ominous storms brew in the sky, and an unusual red plant is spreading rapidly across the country, killing all flora and fauna in its wake. Her search for answers leads her to the titular Forbidden West, a dangerous region that's home to the volatile and deadly Tanakh tribe. Of course, all sorts of obstacles present themselves, not the least of which is Regala, a Tinkoff rebel waging civil war with her followers and an army of machines at her command. And if Regala is who I think it is, that's who Angela Bassett is voicing for this game.
Wait, she's in this?
She's in this game.
Queen, diva.
She's in this game.
Icon, legend. Yes.
I told Katie about it, and she was more interested now in watching me play this game.
Yo, can you imagine having somebody like Angela Bassett hell-bent on killing you? Woo!
I just feel the waiting to exhale memories come back. And I'm just
not like that though.
I get scared just watching her on 911, let alone.
Oh yeah.
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 Remember that episode when that guy kidnaps her son,
Yeah,
And like, she was pissed off, man. She was going
she was raw. She was raw. Oh man. Oh, and by the way, if we're gonna do you a really big favor here. Do not look at the trophy list for Horizon Forbidden West because it is loaded with nothing but spoilers. Nothing but spoilers. So do not look at the trophy list, or you will be in for a world of disappointment.
That surprises me that they're not hidden trophies.
I wonder if there's some kind of glitch though. Maybe, I mean, they might be hidden. People are just stupid. That could be a thing, but
yeah, it just they usually hide story spoilers behind hidden trophies, especially PlayStation first party games. So that kind of surprises me. But
yeah. So which of this week's releases are you guys most excited about purchasing?
I could go first. Definitely Horizon. Everybody know Voice of Cards. Actually, I have Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox, so I'm not going to upgrade yet because I want to see how it runs on the old Xbox. With the update.
I mean, you have a Series X, right?
Yeah.
Well, automatically updates. It's smart delivery. It knows which console you're playing on, so it's going to play the correct version.
Right, but I want to see it on the old one because since the patch came to all of them, I want to see how it runs on there because they didn't show. There's no video of it how it runs on the old Xbox One, and then I'm gonna carry everything over to the Series X.
Is this patch going to do anything for the last gen consoles?
They didn't talk about that. They were so focused on the PS5.
Then don't expect it.
Well, no, because I know they have been having problems with the old ones, so I just want to see how it looks with that patch, and then I'm gonna carry it.
An understatement.
Yeah,
I think when City Project Red put out, like, what was it, 3 months ago, that they fulfilled what they want to do with the game to that point. I think they meant they fulfilled what they want to do with the last gen versions of the game. Well, I really do.
I really want to see.
Because and the reason why I'm saying this is because they want to start releasing the season pass content.
Oh yeah,
like they have all that stuff built and ready to go. They just need to fix like the stuff that was going on with the launch version of the game.
Right. Well, that's what to see if it's like a little bit graphically approved, if it has a steady frame rate for the old ones. I'm going to play it on Series X. I'm going to carry everything over, but I just want to see because there's no video about how the old versions look. I just want to see how it looks on that running on the old Xbox One or Xbox One.
As long as it runs 30 frames per second, on the PS4 and the Xbox One, like I think that's good enough.
Yeah. And then Digital Foundry probably will cover it sometime this week.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to see it on there, see how it looks, and then carry everything over to my Series X. But the other games, nah. Well, King of Fighters 15, but I might wait for a sale for
that. Corey, Austin, you guys. Am I speaking out of turn by saying you guys are all on that Forbidden West train?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the game I want to get it. That's like the only game I want a PS5 for is that game. Like that's the game. That's like the game for me. But
yeah, I will be picking it up Friday. Cannot wait. I will get Voice of Cards, but I still got to beat the first one. And Cyberpunk, I'll play if we get a slow summer for me. So far, it looks like a slow summer for me, but I don't know what's coming out.
Slow summer.
Oh, like did you not watch that in the direct?
This year, a slow summer.
It's a slow summer for me. I'm telling you, so far, just for games that I like.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
But I'm probably forgetting something. I'm probably forgetting something. Definitely Forbidden West for me. But I dare say it's not a day one purchase for me. I know. I just heard the entire one, right?
It's not on PC yet.
Exactly. I heard the entire internet gasp when I said that. I haven't beat the first one yet. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. And so I know by the time I beat the first one, the second one will be at least $40.
Well, that'd be interesting to see.
No.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Horizon Zero Dawn like price dropped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
From $70 to $40.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I forget about that. I'm still thinking video games are $60. Like,
I
just shows.
don't know.
That
I
just
bought
shows.
the collector's edition, so
Yeah, I mean, well, that just shows. I have like the last next gen title I purchased was freaking was Returnal. So like it's still not in my brain that I'm spending $70 for games yet, because before Returnal was Ratchet and Clank, and
Oh,
you
you
still don't have to. You buy the PS4 version, you get that free upgrade.
no, you spend $10.
No, this one's free. I thought
No.
Horizon was the last free one.
Wait, is it the last free one?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why everybody's buying the PS4 version and they go free upgrade. It is the last one though.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I wonder how short printed the PS4 physical copies are going to be because of that.
That'd be interesting. That would be interesting.
I mean, Nintendo does that, right? Like, remember when they took all the games off the Wii U eShop when they were getting ready to put them out on Switch?
Yeah.
One final question here for this segment. Will the free upgrade to the next gen version of CP77 bring all things square with gamers that were begrudged with the game's performance woes on last gen consoles? We kind of touched on that, but overall, what do you guys say?
No, I think too many people already moved on from the game.
Yeah,
like it moved into backlog territory.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people be excited for. They're like, finally, this version's coming. Like I've seen a lot of that. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people were really asking for when was the next gen version coming.
Mhm.
Like they were asking for it. They were asking for it because it was a shocker that it wasn't available at launch when like the game itself dropped initially.
Yeah.
right.
Like,
Well,
so
someone argued the game wasn't out yet either. It was more of just a hey.
Beta.
I don't know. I enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't the greatest game ever, but I enjoyed it. I played the Xbox. Well, I played the Xbox One version on the Series X, and it was fine. It was serviceable. I didn't have a problem with it. I just think it's one of those. I think it's one of those things where, like, yeah, people had problems with it, right? But I mean, I just think that the game was. It wasn't ready for sure, but I don't think it was as bad as everybody said it was. You know, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those like Assassin's Creed Unity things where like they saw that one picture of like the face missing and the eyeballs going like, ooh, and everybody's like, "Well, this game sucks." You know,
I will say this based off of what I saw, like the game was far from unplayable. Like, you know, like I've played games that I feel were unplayable, and Cyberpunk in its state when it came out wasn't unplayable. The problem is that a lot of systems just were not able to keep up and play it. That was the problem, because you got to look at this. Some people, hell, before I got my PS5, I was still on a release console PS4.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way I was going to throw a Cyberpunk disc in that system.
Yeah.
Well, I had nothing to add. I said my piece about that game and its trailers. So
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with tonight's news and events topics. So let me get set here. All right. So first up, Sony stealth drops a PlayStation Indie Spotlight, which was this past February the 10th for PS5 and PS4. All right. All this information can be found on PlayStation blog as well as the PlayStation YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out. Everything from VR adventures to action-packed announcements. Here's what you need to know from last week's Indie Spotlight. Sony lined up 7 indie updates and reveals that had PlayStation gamers excited to talk about, and every 15 minutes afterwards, a new story was published over at the PlayStation blog to fill in even more details. The games that were featured on the showcase include Moss Book 2, Animal Well, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, Post Void, Salt and Sacrifice, Samurai Gun, and Hello Neighbor 2 coming to PS5 and PS4. All right, Austin,
Yeah,
I know you had some words about this. So the floor is yours, man.
I've said my piece, kind of. The real issue is just like, why couldn't we have gotten a little video, a little more pizzazz, a little more showmanship to this announcement instead of just being like, "Hey, we're gonna put some blog post on our Twitter page. Have at it." Um,
I already gave a counterpoint to this though. I feel like Sony blew shot their wad with two direct back to back
but I
state
mean,
of
it could have
plays.
been. I mean, I don't think it would be as big as like a Nintendo Indie Direct, but this would definitely have been a. You could have had a PlayStation. I mean, we had a state of play for Gran Turismo, and then we had a showcase, not a state of play, a showcase for
Sony called
Ghostwire
it a state of
Tokyo.
play. Sony called it a state of play.
Did they? Because that's not the words they used. We might think it's a state of play, but it's not. And I don't know. I just felt like it'd be cool. It's kind of cool that they got Shredder's Revenge kind of on there when it was. I mean, it was it was announced for the Nintendo. Did the announcement, but the PlayStation announced that Splinter is joining, and it could have been a cool thing. Post Void looks cool. The Salt Sacrifice, which is follow up to Salt Sanctuary, is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be cool. Um, an announcement for Hello Neighbor 2, which I don't care about, but a lot of people do. I just like. I don't know. It's just like cool. You could have made this cooler, I guess. Though, that's how I feel. But
It seems that they could have did like a direct minute. Like sometimes Nintendo, it's not an actual direct, but they'll have like a 7 minute like little trailer just showing everything, like quick hits and everything.
yeah,
I think
just say,
I
hey,
think
we're going live 20 minutes. We're gonna show some indie games. Don't expect anything big. Just indie games, and then have at it. And
I don't think. See, my thing is, I don't think that's Sony's style. Sony's either gonna they're either gonna put a show on, or they're gonna put a blog post on. There's no in between. What they usually do is they test the waters out. They put a blog post out, and then later on they come back and say, "Hey, we're gonna have an indies version of a state of play." That's usually what Sony does.
yeah, I don't know.
Austin is so whelmed.
I'm jaded, man. I just like where's the indie love that PlayStation showed for late PS3, early PS4? Like it was just
it got transferred to the.
Well, yeah,
it got transferred to the Wii U.
Well, I would not say the Wii U. PS4 was definitely the whole of indies until the Switch came out.
Yeah, the Wii U was not. The only indie notable on the Wii U was Shovel Knight. Like that was literally the only notable.
If I could say something along this, I think Sony's in like a sticky situation with like Sony definitely wants to recognize indies, but at the same time, because I've said this before, I think Sony tries to read the room as much as possible, and historically, big console players, like when I say big consoles, I'm talking about Xbox players, Sony players, they don't just gravitate towards indies. Like the niche groups that own these systems gravitate there, and we have to hope and pray that like they don't have a Nintendo system or a handheld system, because they will definitely scoop them up there. So even though like Sony is roping in like more and more indies, as days go on and stuff like that, they still do not know the temperature of the fan base and the user base for these systems. Microsoft takes big chances with the indies because they have Xbox Game Pass. Sony doesn't always have that luxury. Sony doesn't know for sure if XYZ indie is going to move a console. Like, yeah, Can of Bridge of Spirits moved consoles, but at the same time, that's a game that if you looked at it and didn't know anything about this game, you would have swore like a big studio made this game.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Stuff like that. Death's Door is another example, man. Like Death's Door, it looks so sweet that like people just couldn't help but gravitate towards like grabbing, if they didn't have a system, like saying, oh, I need to get a system to play this game. This game looks awesome and stuff like that. That's my logic as far as like what goes on. Like Sony, they put out the Indies initiative for PlayStation. It's obvious that they want to recognize indies. I mean, look at the stuff they've had with games like Concrete Genie, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like what was the other game? The puzzle game. It had the weird name.
The puzzle game with the weird name.
Maquette.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Maquette.
Games like that. Yeah. So like they put the weight behind them, but like I said, sometimes like gamers don't just gravitate to them right off the bat, and also let's be honest, like most people nowadays, they're not turning on their PlayStation 5s for like a glorified arcade game. You know what I mean?
It's a level. It's a level.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You might be. I mean, you and I, yeah, because I play indies. I shoot like. Sometimes I have to divide and conquer where I'm going to play. I'm like, okay, am I getting this on Switch? Am I getting this on PC? Am I getting this on PlayStation? I have to divide and conquer sometimes because I feel like certain indies, make a better experience on a certain console. Death's Door, for example, I got that for PS5. Oh well, I got that. Yeah. Let me think.
There's a level.
I don't get indies that much. That's the problem. So I'm trying to think. Like Dead Cells, Hades, all those. I got those on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think it's a level of awareness when it comes to indies. Like when you see, because with Nintendo, of course, they got their own indie world, like Direct and stuff, and that one goes from not just indies from America, but just around the country and everything. And when people see them, they're impressed. They be like, "Oh, okay, now that's on my radar." And I think with Sony, when it comes to putting something on their radar, they lean more to the big AAA kind of experience because that's what they're known for, and then they know they're going to sell that much.
And that's also what Sony knows too. Like, I mean, Sony knows, like, right now it's got the market on like single player, like like storytelling adventures. It does. Like Sony, just like how I say like Nintendo needs to relax a little bit and Microsoft needs to relax, Sony also needs to relax, a little bit. I'm not saying like, just go ahead and just like loosen all the way up and let everything spill out, but relax somewhat. This is going to be I think this is going to be the perfect year. There's so many games releasing and everything. Like games are going to sell themselves. So like take a little bit of, relax the muscle just a little bit and try some other stuff out and see what happens. Yeah, like of course these games are going to get ground up. Like we're in probably the next 18 months of games releases are probably it's going to be something I haven't seen since PS2 days. In all seriousness, like all the games are basically going to be like breaking our backs, like coming out and stuff like that. But I feel like right now is a good time to test this because if these indies come out and they come out at like nice prices, I'm not saying they have to be cheap, but nice prices that like people like, well, hey, like I just beat Horizon, like there's nothing next until like the summer game comes out, I'll pick this up, they might be surprised at the performance and stuff like that. It might give them a little more confidence to say, hey, let's put some, as we're rolling out these states of plays for our big titles, like when the next God of War state of play comes out, hey, we'll throw a couple of small indie titles in that showcase as well. Just to say, hey, when God of War as God of War is getting ready, this is coming out now. Stuff like that. See what happens.
And Nintendo might already get that indie exclusive to show in their Direct, so Sony may not be able to have that time because Nintendo might have that exclusive to show it off for an indie.
Nintendo always has the time. That's the problem. Nintendo always has the time. And I feel like Microsoft and Sony don't get that. Like
Mhm.
right now Microsoft is trying to grab everything it can, and do the number where like you like fold everything up in your hands and try to keep it as close as possible. Whereas Sony's like, hey, I got this over here, like stuff like that. While Nintendo's like, hey, come over here where the cool kids are, shit like that. It's really interesting looking at the three major players in this market, and how they handle things.
Mhm.
Mike, for all that Bill Gates Microsoft money that Xbox is flexing right now, like it still seems like some days it's a mad scramble. And Sony, it looks like they're always resting on their laurels because, like, yeah, they have The Last of Us, they have Horizon, they have God of War, they have Spider-Man. Actually, rumor is that Sony's about to go all in on as many Marvel properties as they can get.
I mean,
There's
I
a
would if
rumor
I
right
were
now.
them, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a
so we talked about this on Arsenal X the other day, where like we are kind of talking about like what's Microsoft's strategy with all these companies they're buying, right? And it's like, yeah, they had a huge end of the year last year with Psychonauts and Forza and Halo, but like the first three quarters of the year this year, they don't have anything coming out. And like what
that's a
we were,
shame.
and it's at this point where I know that with all these acquisitions and stuff, they're going to have a first party title probably every 2 or 3 months
Mhm.
within the next 18 months that'll probably start rolling out, right? But like, what are they doing right now? They need something, and Sony has 3 major titles this year. And I mean, look at the Direct. Nintendo has something coming out every 3 weeks, right? Like, it's ridiculous. And so, as much as you want to say like Game Pass is great, and look at all these things, and it is great. I love Game Pass. I think it's the best thing that Microsoft could have done. But at the same time, they're not really giving us
It's
any
like they're not
first party
producing.
games,
It's like they're not
and
producing.
the big thing right now too is like Halo was supposed to be a game as a service, but there's no roadmap. Their first season ends in May, right? That's 6 months is too long. I mean, you look at Destiny, right, and
Mhm.
they just had a 6 month season, and like everybody said that was too long. Now, granted, they pushed the Witch Queen uh, because of COVID, and they were testing out some sandbox changes. But even a game that's been going on as long as Destiny has like, they had to draw their players back in. Which, look, the Witch Queen looks awesome, and they have. I mean, they over 1 million pre-orders as of 2 months ago for the Witch Queen. It's going to be a huge thing for them. But like,
Yeah.
Halo can't afford to do that, right? If you're going to be a live service game, you need to be pumping out stuff like every 3 weeks, like maybe in a multiplayer event, or some new single player things, or some updates to the sandbox. Like, they need to do something. And I think the way that Sony's going about it is, Microsoft's kind of all in on this Game Pass multiplayer type thing, and they don't have any single player, like big single player hits to back it up. And
Mhm.
Sony, I think, has the single player stuff, and they're making all these good acquisitions or deals with these other companies to where they won't have to worry about their own games as a service type things, because they have these second party studios working on them, or
Yeah.
Bungie's helping out with the next SOCOM or the next Resistance, as a live service thing or something, right? Like, I think
Why'd you mention that? You just got Austin. You just got me and Austin excited.
what Resistance? No,
You said the word. You
I
said the
think
word.
I think Resistance
Even if
is
it's not
extremely
using the
underrated.
game sense.
I think Resistance is extremely underrated as a franchise. I wish they would have
Mhm.
focused more on that than they did on Killzone.
Yeah.
But they were
Yeah.
so focused on taking down Halo that they
They
felt
didn't say
like,
they didn't say they had a diamond in the rough right there.
well, to take down Halo, they could have done Resistance, and it could have been a different take on a similar thing, right? And
Yeah.
Right.
and where Killzone was more like futuristic, which is, Halo's in the future, but like, I don't know, I just feel like they saw Killzone was the Halo killer, and they just didn't see Resistance for what it was. But I think that Sony is going about it the right way, and I'm kind of back in the. As much as I love my Xbox and I love Game Pass, and I'm not. I mean, LeRon, we had this conversation like over the last couple of days. Is like I'm not an Xbox fan in the sense of what an Xbox fan should be. I prefer the Xbox platform. I prefer the controller. I prefer the online service, that kind of thing. I'm not like I love Gears of War and I really like Halo, but like anything outside of that, I'm just like I don't really care. I play Destiny. Xbox Xbox is my Destiny box at this point, in Game Pass box, which is not a great thing optically, right? Like, I mean, I would love to say, oh man, I'm so excited for Perfect Dark. I'm excited for, whatever first party single player experience they're going to have that's like Uncharted or God of War, right? And the next game I'm really looking forward to from Microsoft is Hellblade, right?
Mhm.
But we still don't even really know what that is. We know it's a single player experience. It could go. Stoy and I had this conversation as well. It's like Hellblade could be. It's not going to be the small experience that the first game was. It's not. They have a Microsoft budget. They have Unreal Engine 5 that's going to make that first game, quote unquote, look like an indie game, like they said, right? We think it's going to be on the scale of a God of War.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's what people want from Hellblade. I mean, I'm of both minds where like I really like that small experience, but also I'm of the mind that if anything that Microsoft has purchased is going to be on the level of a God of War or a Horizon, it's going to be Hellblade, and they're going to push it that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it could go either way. It's either going to be a 10 out of 10 or like a 5 out of 10. And really, it's going to it could do what some people think The Last of Us 2 did to The Last of Us 1, where like they didn't like The Last of Us 2, and it kind of retroactively ruined the first one because the first game didn't need a sequel,
Well, it kind of feels, I think, coming from the Nintendo viewpoint, I think that's why this year for Nintendo that a lot of stuff is balanced. That you are going to get some big first party games and you're going to get some indie games, but some third ones. So those gaps that will happen with Sony and Microsoft, I think Nintendo's there, and even a little bit PC, um, PC to hold on a second. With PC, I think Nintendo's just going to be. I think from Nintendo's viewpoint, they're just like we're going to fill in stuff when there is nothing
Well,
else for them to play, or
I mean,
Microsoft is on this platform.
we were kind of talking about that too, Ed, with Nintendo, where now obviously the Switch is like they don't have to focus on 2 or 3 platforms anymore, right? Like when the Wii U, 3DS, and phones were a thing, they had to disperse their development across 3 platforms, 3. And now
Yes.
that they've kind of like they've
Combine
done
them
away
all.
with the home console and handheld, and it's all in one console now, they're kind of pushing away mobile business, except for Fire Emblem just keeps printing the money. They with their development resources, they have had a major first party game every quarter at least since the system launched. This year they have a major first party game every 3 weeks. In 2019 they had a major first party title every 6 weeks. In 2017 they had a major first party title every 5 weeks. And I think that's where Microsoft wants to be with all these acquisitions, but also like Nintendo is a different beast than Microsoft, and Sony is a different beast than Nintendo. And I think out of Microsoft and Sony, I feel like honestly Sony is winning the optical battle, where like we have our products are selling at a premium. We release one major game every quarter. This is our tentpole game. Anything else is just like window dressing, right?
Well, well spoken, man. You know what? The one thing I will say is that between all 3 companies, each one of the companies is doing one thing, very well, if not, superbly well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, each one of these 3 companies has a weakness as well.
Mm-hmm.
Has a weakness or a blind spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And And honestly, I don't know the level of attention that they're giving to their blind spots, but I feel like they are definitely giving their successes too much attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like everybody was jumping on the Microsoft bandwagon and was like, "Oh, Game Pass is great. Game Pass is great." And then Microsoft started acquiring all these studios. Which, look, as somebody who has Game Pass, I'm excited because that's just more games I get to play without having to spend $70, right? But like most gamers are like thinking Microsoft is teetering on becoming the bad guy again, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're acquiring
They're
so
snatching
many
up
teams,
they're
and there's
snatching up
this,
every damn thing.
and a story
But-
just came out about 10 minutes ago where Platinum is hinting that they're going to be acquired by Microsoft. And like,
Okay, that breaks my heart already.
Right.
And-
Corey told me about that, and I was just like, I need to talk about this now because
no, that was the I
that
told
was
you
the-
that they were
thinking about it.
open. They were open to being acquired. And then there's a new article on Pure Xbox that posted. Hold on, let me see. I just saw it.
Because the thing with I was just thinking about Platinum Games being acquired. I don't want want to acquire them. Not even Nintendo. I don't want to acquire them because they're not going to have that independence, or they're not going to have that freedom.
Oh, how do you know that?
This posted at 7 p.m. Let's see. In a new interview with Video Games Chronicle, President and CEO Atsushi Inaba explained that the company would be open to an offer from anyone, but the key thing is that they need to provide the studio with near total freedom. Microsoft was name dropped as part of this, and Inaba speaking about the recent acquisition of Activision. The most important.
Now, go ahead. Finish, Corey.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This is the quote. The most important thing for us is to have freedom to make games that we want to make. I am here. What I hear about the recent acquisitions, I don't think Microsoft is going to start micromanaging Activision, where they take away all of their freedom. I don't think it's going to be a relationship like that. I think there's going to be a lot of mutual respect there, and I think Activision will be able to continue doing what they do best. That's also what's most important to us at the end of the day, whatever form that takes for us as a company. So I would not turn anything down as long as our freedom was still respected. And then it goes on to say that Inaba and Hideki Kamiya have both reached out to Phil Spencer.
Okay.
For
Go.
Scaleblade. Well,
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Ed.
because this is kind of like the Insomniac thing, when Insomniac was just like, we want to be freedom to make our games for anything. Yes, we didn't expect Sony to acquire Insomniac, but we know their good relationship that they had with
Talk about a steal, by the way. $275 million for Insomniac. That studio's worth way more than that,
exactly.
especially now.
With Platinum Games, I mean, yes, they have a good relationship with Square Enix and definitely with Nintendo. But what are they going to be doing on Microsoft's platform?
Anything they want? If they negotiate, if they're trying to negotiate their contract to where we have 99.89999% independence to do whatever we want,
Mhm.
and Microsoft is, if Microsoft micromanages them, Microsoft's in breach of contract. They can buy themselves out.
Right, but I think the thing with Platinum, because a lot of people are talking about, how do you go to telling people that you want to publish your own games, and now it feels like you're changing your mind because
if they're not getting the money to, if they're not making enough money to get it, then yeah, like what's this is how business works. Like like, do you want to stay in business? You usually have to partner up with somebody. If unless you have what it takes to be financially independent. If I guarantee you, if Platinum could have been releasing Bayonetta, Bayonetta, Mad World, all these games, with, on their own dime, they would have done it.
Where's our Mad World HD remake, by the way?
Ooh,
but to your point, LeRon, like Platinum wants to be independent, but they've been struggling since they've started. I mean, that's why Bayonetta was funded by Nintendo, because the first one didn't sell anything. That's why, half of them left to go go to Tango Gameworks or back to Capcom or
I feel like the main reason why Bayonetta didn't do well is because the world still had fucking Devil May Cry stuck up their fucking asses and
But
stuff
then
like that.
is
Because
the
I've
Tomb
always
Raider?
felt like, huh?
But is it the Tomb Raider Sleeping Dogs kind of failure because they sold past 1 million
no,
on two consoles?
it did not. The original release of Bayonetta did not hit 1 million copies.
I thought they did.
It didn't hit 1 million copies across two platforms. It didn't
Yeah.
hit 1 million copies. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
and
it
like
did.
it didn't start. It didn't. Bayonetta did not make any type of numbers till it hit PC. The first Bayonetta.
Oh, I thought they
Yeah.
hit 1 million.
Nope.
Before it went to.
They never hit 1 million.
In the first year of release, Bayonetta 1 hit less than 400,000 copies.
I thought it was at least 600. Damn.
In the first year.
In the first year.
Yeah. But I mean, here's what I was going to add to this. I was like, and I know this is a freaking PlayStation show. Microsoft, this is your fucking Japanese company that you've been looking for.
Yeah,
this is it.
That's what Stoy and I were again, not to bring up Arsenal X again, but that's exactly what we talked about. It's like
they
want to put hold in Japan, right? And the way that Japan's honor system works is like they won't sell to a Western company unless it's absolutely dire, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, we still think Sega would make the most sense for Microsoft just because they're so integrally linked, right? But like Platinum is a company that needs financial help. They need financial stability. They want to be creative. It would not, drastically change the industry if Platinum went to Microsoft. I'm pretty sure Microsoft would let them work out their
deals,
their contracts with Square and Nintendo and stuff, and then they would bring them in house to make Japanese style action games.
Honestly, right now, Platinum is telling Microsoft if you're gonna talk about it, be about it.
Yeah,
that's really what's happening right now.
And so, and Platinum is like, I know a lot of people have a lot of love for Platinum, and they've done some great things, right? Bayonetta 2, Astral Chain, but like they're such a hit or miss company. You look at the Transformers game and the Legend of Korra game and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game they did for Activision. You look at some of these other things that they've done that they're not like it. Every game they put out is a gem.
Is it? Yeah, true. As much as I love all these creators, because these creators came from Capcom, like my favorite publisher. Like I mean, like I've always been a fan of theirs. Like now, like they've gone some places that I couldn't really follow them to, but at the same time, like what I really loved and wanted from them, I got. Yeah. So
I mean, look, I love Vanquish. I love Bayonetta 2. I liked what I played of Astral Chain. Bayonetta 2 is a gem, but like for every Nier Automata that you put out, you get a Transformers Devastation or a Mutants in Manhattan Ninja Turtles game, or a Star Fox Zero, right? Like it's just not. It's just they're so hit or miss,
it's not consistent.
And they take those licensed properties to stay afloat, right? Oh. That's why those games exist, and that's why I am afraid of Platinum, is because like I want them to be creative and I want them to do their own thing, and that's why Microsoft makes the most sense for them, because they won't have to worry about a budget, they won't have to worry about stability. They have Game Pass, so people will discover their game, and it's just another selling point to get a foothold in the Japanese market.
They would have the two of the best action style developers with Ninja Theory and Platinum Games if Microsoft get them. I really think this is making Nintendo to be like, nope, we're going to snatch you first.
Yeah.
I think this just now put a fire in Nintendo's eyes, be like, we don't want you to go to Microsoft. I
don't think so. I don't think Nintendo cares. They don't care.
I don't think Nintendo cares either.
Nintendo. Just to wrap up this conversation, right? Yeah. Because I know we need to move on, but like Nintendo owns the Astral Chain IP. Yeah. Bayonetta's done after Bayonetta 3, right? And correct. Sega owns that IP. So even if Nintendo wanted to continue Platinum, they would go to Sega, not Platinum, right? And Star Fox they could put out to anyone. because they own the IP.
Namco,
So
how did Bandai
I mean,
Namco probably?
as long as they find someone that's similar to Platinum, or maybe they work with Microsoft to get Astral Chain 2, right? If Platinum gets purchased by Microsoft, right? Microsoft obviously isn't opposed to working with other companies, especially
Mhm.
Nintendo. So, I mean, it's that would be the best fit for Platinum if someone's going to acquire them. Is my end of my rant there.
Yeah. No.
It-
I'm
I-
completely there with you. Go
I-
ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's going to be interesting to see if anything happens, and because I think by E3, if Microsoft does end up buying Platinum Games, that's where they're going to announce it at.
You know what? Here's the thing about it, though. God damn it! By E3, we better have a freaking launch date for Bayonetta 3. By E3.
I mean, let's see. Xenoblade's coming out in September, right? Ed, is that what that's what they said?
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. We
August.
spoke about this.
Bayonetta's August.
You think Bayonetta's August?
I think it's October.
Because I remember last week when we were warming up the Boss Rush podcast, you, me, and Stephanie were like, "Man, with all the stuff they just rapid fired for the direct,
Mm-hmm.
I think Bayonetta and Zelda just got pushed to next year."
I don't think Bayonetta is getting pushed.
No.
I think they want to get that out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Bayonetta's August. Mario plus Rabbids will be their October game. Zelda will be November.
If Platinum's hinting that, hey, like, we wouldn't mind being scooped up by Microsoft, that must mean something's going on the Nintendo front for them.
Well, their contracts are all done with Nintendo. They don't have a contract with Nintendo to do Astral Chain 2.
Right.
Okay.
And Bayonetta 3 is their last thing, and then their last thing with Square is Babylon's Fall, which that's the game I'm pointing to that says they want to be acquired because that game is probably bad.
Yeah, agreed.
Because that tug of scale bound.
Yeah, and
Microsoft.
And Yoko Taro said that he doesn't really want to do another Nier game right now, which, Platinum did Nier Automata, right? So,
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Right. We'll see by E3.
All right, we ran that topic to death. I'm
sorry. It was just...
No. It spawned some really good conversation. It did. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk really quickly about Sony's good fortunes with the NPD for January 2022, and then we can go ahead and move on to one of the major topics that dropped this week around another game. PlayStation comes out tops in the January NPD for 2022. The PlayStation 5 has topped the NPD hardware charts for the U.S. for the month of January 2022. While the exact sales stats have not been shared yet, Sony's latest system was the best-selling platform in both units sold and dollars earned. It beat out the Xbox Series X and S as well as the Nintendo Switch, simply based on the fact that Sony managed to produce enough consoles to make it to the top. Supply and demand are still completely out of whack, however, so there is that to take into account right there. Elsewhere, Call of Duty Vanguard was once again the best-selling PS5 and PS4 title, but it did not shift the most copies overall. That accolade goes to Pokemon Legends Arceus. Did I say that right?
Arceus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which sold best across all platforms for the month of January. Rainbow Six Extraction was the only noteworthy new entry in the PlayStation specific chart for the month, debuting in the 5th position. The rest of the top 10 is made up of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, sports titles, Ghost of Tsushima, Battlefield 2042, and Far Cry 6. God of War, meanwhile, rose an incredible 139 places to chart in 5th place in the overall NPD software top 20 list. It doesn't appear, based on everything that I'd seen in this report, it didn't appear that the chart was broken down in PS5 and PS4 specific sales. So the rise in this had to be from the PC release.
Mm-hmm.
January 2022 spending on video game accessories declined by 15% when compared to a year ago, which is 185 million. So I'm wondering if right now, because there's like 5 different DualSense controllers on the market now, if Sony hit a saturation point and people are like, enough, like maybe when the PlayStations, maybe when the system plates come out, maybe we'll see some movement there. lastly, Spider-Man Miles Morales has hit another milestone, becoming Sony's third best-selling game of all time. All time. Only Marvel Spider-Man, as well as God of War, have made more money in the U.S. than Miles Morales has.
Good.
So, question for you guys: with Horizon Forbidden West releasing this week, can the PS5 possibly repeat its success and make it 2 months in a row at top hardware? Of course, if Sony's able to produce the consoles, of course. Because what they say, like usually games sell systems, and Horizon Zero Dawn is the first super title for PlayStation this year.
Yeah, I think the thing is though, you got to have systems to sell, right? I mean, that's Sony's
True.
big thing, and I know
True.
there was someone up on Costco today, like some bundles, but like you got to have systems to sell, and I think they were holding a lot of consoles for Christmas because they knew it was going to be a hot item, and I think they blew their load at Christmas and hoping that people who wanted them got them, and Horizon's a big game. I think Horizon is personally is PlayStation's best IP. I know that they've sold over 20 million copies now, right? Horizon Zero Dawn has sold over 20 million copies. So like I don't know. I think it's possible as long as they can get consoles out.
So I don't think so because of Elden Ring. I think
Elden Ring is a place. Everybody wants Elden Ring, and people who want
Elden
PlayStation.
Ring, Elden Ring is the most anticipated title. 2 years back to back.
Yeah,
2
but
years.
Right, but a lot of people. It's a mixed thing with Horizon.
Wait, are you saying Elden Ring's going to hurt Horizon Forbidden West, or are you saying Elden Ring's going to hurt Sony's hardware dominance?
Elden Ring's going to hurt Horizon. Not the console.
That's not the question.
Okay. Because I was thinking about it. Is that people who got a PS5 or planning to get a PS5, they're planning to get it for Elden Ring.
Well, yeah. Sony's already accounted for that. Sony's already accounted for the fact that because like I know you're not on Crossroads every week, but practically week to week, whenever like Chris is on the show or we have guests, they're always saying we are looking for a PlayStation to play Forbidden West.
Oh yeah,
they're saying that.
It's two different audiences.
I have a lot of opinions on Elden Ring. Like I think the Souls people are excited for Elden Ring.
Yes.
And like I know that audience has grown over the last couple of years, and that genre has grown in popularity over the last couple of years, but like I don't think everybody is excited for Elden Ring, and I think
I'm not.
I know I could care less about Elden Ring. But like I think Horizon is a more appealing game for the mass audience. And I don't know if Elden Ring is going to necessarily hurt Horizon in that way, but I think if you have that 1-2 punch of Horizon and Elden Ring coming out, I think PlayStation has a pretty.
It's going to move fucking consoles.
Yeah, it's going to move units. So I think they're going to actually help each other. To be honest with you,
I think it kind of feels because some people just like they were skipping Horizon due to Elden Ring coming out that following week.
I mean, some people are. I mean, like Elden Ring might hurt Horizon's week one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it won't hurt Horizon's week one. This is week one for Horizon,
right?
Yeah, I just think people are gonna look. Horizon's going to sell. Elden Ring's going to sell. Yeah. I think having both of these games available in February is going to push PlayStation over because like Xbox doesn't really have anything, right? I mean, I know they're getting Elden Ring, but like I feel like the Souls franchise is tied intrinsically to PlayStation because of Demon Souls and Bloodborne. And so I feel like especially collectors are like, well, I need to have it all on PlayStation. I just think that those two games are going to move units. Those two games specifically are going to move units.
I'm glad you said that, Corey, because it's universally known that a lot of people like the system they prefer is the system they usually buy the games on first. I'm that way. I'm that way. I'm a PlayStation gamer. And I will buy games first on PlayStation before like I think about getting it on Switch. And for some parts, even on the PC, there are games is like, now I'm getting this on PlayStation. You
And,
know, or I'm that dumbass that double dips because I got the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection on PlayStation right now, and I'm going to get the PC version.
and
Mhm.
I will say this is first party versus third party. I think it's just that the more anticipation that I've been hearing and people have been saying has been more about Elden Ring than it has been Horizon. People are happy that Horizon, I guess, getting 9s, 10s. People consider it a game of the year. But when it comes to playing, to like purchasing the game, I think a lot of people are really to do it more for Elden Ring than Horizon. They're going to get both, but I think more people are looking forward to Elden Ring. Like people will get a PS5, but I think that's because of Elden Ring over Horizon.
The funny thing is
The
like a lot of people that I talk to like outside of our little sphere, like
Mhm.
who aren't, they don't really like pay attention to games like we do, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are like, they're excited for Horizon, but they're like, what is Elden Ring?
What in Elden Ring? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to sit
yeah.
there and explain it. I was like, have you ever heard of Dark Souls? They're like, yeah, isn't that really hard game? I'm like, yeah, it's like it's like a sequel to, it's like a spiritual sequel to Dark Souls, and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to play that. That's too hard.
Because this is part of Lord of the Rings, right?
No,
No.
No,
no,
this is a
No.
completely new IP.
yeah,
No.
This is not related to anything. No,
Yeah.
this is from software making. You're thinking of Gollum, Lord of the Rings.
I
I
would
thought
be 1,000% more excited if this was a Lord of the Rings game. I would tough it out like I did Bloodborne. Like I would tough out a Dark Souls
it might
Lord
have
of the
been
Rings game.
it might have been a rumor that people were thinking it was Lord of the Rings
no.
that
People are
for
comparing
software.
it to Lord of the Rings because George R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones, is
He
helped
wrote,
write the
Wrote
yeah,
lore.
Elden Rings.
yeah. They
Okay.
wrote the lore. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Sorry, that's just really funny.
no, I mean, because that's what when the first before Elden Ring got announced, it was that was the rumor that From Software was doing a Lord of the Rings style game in the Souls one. So
Mm.
I didn't know if Elden Ring was part of it or if they changed it or if
Mhm.
they
I
lived in the
will
confusion.
I will say this with From Software's reputation for like making games like of this caliber, like they would ruin the Lord of the Rings franchise if they were the ones that made this because everybody would be bitching about the game being too fucking hard.
No, the best Lord of the Rings game would be a Muso game because there's so
Oh.
many guys on the screen. I'm just kidding. I don't really think that. I was just
No.
trying to be stupid.
All right.
By the way, they
one,
ruined Fire Emblem for me for making Warriors 2.
3 Hopes.
Hate you, Nintendo. I already pre-ordered it, so.
Wow. Wow. That loyalty. Final question here for this topic, then we'll move on to our next news bit. Looking at God of War's resurgence on the charts, as well as Spider-Man Miles Morales' performance and things like that, as well as other games like freaking Horizon. Will Sony's moving of titles to PC become the new kingmaker for successful sales of their IPs overall?
Mm,
Is
no,
this a tough question? Is this a tough question?
no.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. When you look, okay, look at God of War.
Yes.
Look at Days Gone. Look at Horizon. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection is coming out soon. Looking at the performances, will Sony's moving of titles to PC become the new kingmaker for overall success or sales for these franchises?
No.
All right, now why do you say that when I just said that a game that came out 4 years ago
mhm.
jumped back into the top 20 list?
I think that like first of all, I think it was a mistake to release those games on PC without releasing the original trilogy, right? Especially 4. 4, like, I don't know, but again, like I think that I think Uncharted is such an important franchise for PlayStation. Like
Mhm.
outside of Horizon, like Horizon and Uncharted, you could interchange those for me any day for PlayStation's franchises. You know, like
Uh-huh.
one of my favorite movies ever is Indiana Jones, right? And that's the ultimate Indiana Jones experience. And I've
True.
grown more fond of Uncharted over the years. I used to not be, too excited for Uncharted, but after playing them again, especially the trilogy, and us getting those like the Tomb Raider reboots and stuff, is like, man, these games are just they're so just dumb fun. You know, I know Nathan Drake is a murder machine, but uh, I don't know. I think Uncharted is just the franchise that people love, and they want to play it the best way possible. And if they have a PC and haven't gotten a PlayStation 5 yet, like that's where they're gonna play it. Or
Yeah.
you know, I think it has a lot to do with that. Or PlayStation, I think PlayStation's PC model is actually really smart. And not that I don't agree with what Microsoft's doing day and date and trying to create like a one ecosystem between console, PC, and cloud, right? But like PlayStation doesn't have that kind of integrated platform already, the way that Microsoft has Windows to integrate in with Xbox. And I think like finding that nice little middle ground of like, hey, we're going to release these on PlayStation first. If you want to play them and be a part of the conversation, you buy them on PlayStation. If you want to wait, if you want to wait till a PC release, if you want it to look better, run better, whatever, we're going to release it a couple years later. And so I think that is actually the smartest thing to do. So I'm not surprised that Uncharted is back up in the top because look how phenomenal that game looks. Austin, I think you were posting stuff on Twitter, right? Of screenshots of Uncharted. And like that game looks incredible still.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when it comes to the PC, I think it's a time thing because time has passed and those games have already did their numbers. You know, did the millions and did the selling.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
No, I'm talking about when it's on the console.
These numbers are saying it now. That the time is not
right,
passed.
but what I'm saying, when they first come out for PS or whatever the console that PlayStation is, they're doing their numbers, they're doing their millions. You know, they're getting their talks and everything. And I think when it's like 2 or 3 years down the line, and it comes to PC,
I think
even though it is a resurgence, it's not a big enough resurgence.
Okay, Ed, God of War.
Before you go on, like I think Uncharted is a unique situation though, right? Because these games have technically come out already on PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the upgrades to PlayStation 5, and it came out on PC at the same time, right? And so it's not surprising because people are going to spend that $10 to get these great upgrades on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or they're going to play them on PC. So I agree with Ed in a sense where like these games have already done their millions and millions of copies, right? But the upgrades make these games 10 times better. And so people want to see their favorite characters and their favorite games in the best way possible. And how do you do that? You buy it on PlayStation 5 again, whether you're repurchasing it, whether you're spending that $10, right? For me, it sounds like a lot of people are spending that extra money to buy it again, right? Because PlayStation gamers are turning into it's
the same reason why people double dip.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Just like how like I'm trying to explain to Ed a little bit better. Just like how people will buy a game on Look at me. Look at me. I'm a prime example. Like, you know how many times I bought Street Fighter Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. You know how many times I bought this game across the decades when it came out on different systems and stuff like that. Same thing applies here.
So,
I think PlayStation gamers are becoming Nintendo gamers in a sense, right? Where they're gonna, not that it's as bad, right? But like
they're gonna follow the franchise.
Yeah, they're gonna buy that physical copy to put on their shelf. They're gonna spend the $10 upgrade to play on PlayStation 5. They're just going to want to have it wherever they can have it, and so that's why the numbers are jumping.
But when it comes to PC, with Sony games going to PC, because I think that's the question is, Death Stranding and Days Gone are the only ones that's been way successful more on PC than it has been on console. And Sony fans got upset about, definitely with Death Stranding, on why that game is more successful on PC than it was on PlayStation. And I think,
you know what,
and I think
I feel like when I say this, like,
before you go around. But I think it's games like those that benefit more on PC. I think when there's a low selling or unexpected average game on PlayStation that doesn't do well, PC definitely helps. Yes, when God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, because they sold millions, they did numbers. It
Mhm.
doesn't seem big when it comes to PC. Yes, the numbers jumped, but that's been 3 or 4 years when the experience has already been done. And people who don't want to pay the $20 because they don't have a PlayStation, they will spend that money on PC. But Days Gone, that did more numbers than it did on PlayStation.
Mhm.
Death Stranding did more numbers on PC
Well,
than.
Actually, Days Gone got a bump, but it didn't get that much of a bump when it got to PC. Days Gone did help it cross another. It helped it cross another million milestone,
Mhm.
but it didn't actually sell like millions on the PC.
But I think Days Gone got more recognition than on PC than it did Sony. So I.
Well, okay, so here's where I'm about to get in trouble, and chances are like I'm gonna get so much flack that I'm gonna have to stop producing Crossroads. Console game, console gamers are console gamers have limited minds. That's the easiest way for me to describe why like a game will fail on a console and will freaking like explode when it comes to PC.
Mhm.
PC gamers are so diverse in their gaming. Like I mean it's crazy. Like if you look at my library of PC games, news games I've actually played, I play everything from first person shooters to freaking Sim City to freaking arcade fighting games to indies and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Whereas PlayStation gamers are not just PlayStation console gamers are limited in their scope. They stick into one realm. Most you walk into a regular gamer's house, like it's either all sports games, all shooters, all platform games. You know, like there's not enough diversity to say, oh, you play everything. You know.
Mhm.
Now there are some PC gamers that are also like that, but they still also play other stuff. And I'm not sure if it's because like like PC gamers they put the money into their hardware, so they tinker with this stuff. So they tinker with everything they can do with it as well, and things like that. So yeah, like because when Death Stranding was like flailing on the PlayStation, PC gamers are like, what's wrong with this game? We want to see what's up with it. Why does nobody like this game? So as soon as they dropped it on PC, and all of a sudden we see this explosion of sales, and everybody's like, what are y'all talking about? This game is amazing. What
And,
was wrong with
Yeah,
and I
y'all?
think
I
and I
have
think
sales figures for you if you want them as a quick Google search. For
Okay.
Days Gone has sold over 9 million copies, with 2.5 million of those being on PC, on Steam.
How much? How much?
2.5 million on Steam.
Damn. Okay, so it got a couple more million sales,
mhm.
but Days Gone had already sold his numbers.
Well, it's weird because I think it's when it comes to numbers like that, and I look because I do look for them, like and when people do the NPD, and I be wondering why Sony's not saying anything, and it may just be a me thing, a personal thing, but it always feels like that when certain games on PlayStation, when it comes out and the gamers like don't really support it. It feels like the gamers don't support it. When it comes to PC, that's when more recognition wants to happen with that game. So I'm not hearing. I didn't hear about the Days Gone doing 7 million. If people are saying that the game wasn't good, like I'm not hearing of Death Stranding doing numbers
You're
if
you're
that game
hearing
was good, and
because
it's
Death,
very
here's the thing.
weird.
Death
Here's the thing.
Stranding
Here's
has
the
sold
thing.
more on PC than PlayStation.
Yep.
But that's
And that's
because I
why.
think you can mod stuff into there and give yourself,
Mhm.
more resources and stuff. Like that game had a really big modding community just based on what the game is, right? And so I think that's why it did better than say Days Gone. Although 2.5 million copies is nothing to sneeze at.
There's nothing to sneeze at.
No,
No.
no,
No.
and that's
But
why I think that's why I was hurting me. Just I said personally feeling that when it's games like that and they hit PC, it gets more recognition, which sometimes brings more sales. And when I personally don't hear like sale numbers from Days Gone and Death Stranding and stuff like that, I kind of wonder why people get mad at PC players buying these games. Where's the numbers at or the
well,
support when they would have
that's a
came for the
different
console?
that's a
It's
different
a different
discussion
topic.
entirely,
Yeah.
right? Like people are so like you know gung ho on being super fanboys, and if a PlayStation
Yeah.
game appears on
Mhm.
something else, they're like super pissed off. Or when Microsoft
I
announced
got
that
the
Call of Duty was going to be multi-platform for the in the future, right? So many Xbox players started crying, right? And
I got the
Mhm.
most. I got the most downvotes on the Ratchet and Clank video that I did because there was speculation that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart might show up on the PC.
it
I got so
should.
many downvotes. I
It
got so
should.
many
Ratchet and
downvotes.
Clank
Yeah,
and Returnal both should be on PC.
yeah,
Returnal specifically
yeah,
should be on
Yeah.
PC.
And
yeah.
I feel like I feel like those games will do it. I think when time passes, like 2 or 3 years or whatever, I think that's when they'll show up on PC. But like doing the numbers and researches and stuff, I think when people sometimes get their feel of it when it comes to PC, it may get some recognition, but it doesn't always feel that big at times.
PC gamers are always curious, and like Ray Spark Moss is saying in the Twitch chat right now, PC gamers want console ports, especially
Mhm.
exclusives. They want
Yeah.
them.
And I think that's smart. Like I said before, I think what Sony does is smart with their PC ports, right?
Mhm.
Look how well God of War has done on PC. You know, like I mean, I know Horizon kind of had a troubled start, but I'm pretty sure it's had a tail on it in terms of
Mhm.
PC sales.
Yeah.
I I I just think once Sony sees that they've kind of squeezed all the water from the stone, right? They should try to find somewhere else to put this, and I think they're not going to put it on Xbox, but I think the PC is just a perfect place for it, and
Mhm.
you know,
And like I said, and I always say this: the more and more places you put your games at, and the more accessibility that new gamers have to play it, you will see success.
mhm.
That's
You will,
that.
you will see success. Look at how well Bayonetta and Vanquish sold when they came to PC.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
damn,
Dude, Vanquish is a great game, by the way. Everybody should
It
play
yeah,
is.
Vanquish. It's like Japanese
yeah.
GI Joe is what it is.
I love that game. Shit, I have a PS3 and I have a PC.
I have it on
Love
PS3
that
and
game.
3. I have
And I,
it on
and shit, my dumbass almost bought the collection on PS4 because I knew it'd play on my PS5. I almost bought that double pack.
Yeah, you should have. Vanquish is good. I
Oh,
bought
it's still in Best Buy. It's like $30 right now.
I
nice.
bought I bought Vanquish on Xbox One, and it's awesome. So
It's so
Yeah,
good.
I love that game. All right. Any final thoughts here?
I'm
no,
happy to play Horizon Forbidden West. I can't wait for it to come out, and I'm glad that
yeah.
these numbers
Oh yeah, we
to
were
see
talking
these
about
numbers on
Horizon.
MP. Yeah, to see these numbers on NPD, I'm really and happy that this is happening.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
a lot of NPD has been belonging to Nintendo, but I love that when there's a
Oh,
variety like this.
that's what I was gonna add. Right. So, God of War came out what 3 weeks ago on PC.
Hmm.
Because of God of War's PC sales, it is now catapulted God of War into 21 million units sold. Like, damn. Yeah, like people aren't done with God of War, and given that there is another God of War game supposed to be coming out this year, it's
Hmm.
going to sell more units before that game comes out.
Well, definitely with it being $20 on PlayStation, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. I feel like we beat that one into the ground.
I'm sorry, everyone.
No. It's good. It's good talks. It's good talks. All right. All right. So our next topic here is about the game Martha is Dead. All right. So if you haven't heard, Martha Dead will be Martha are dead. Martha is Dead will be censored on PlayStation platforms. This news comes to us from Video Games Chronicle as well as PSU.com. It has been announced that Martha is Dead, the upcoming game from Wired Productions and LKA, has had content removed in the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game. Martha is Dead is described as a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war. As conflict intensifies between the German and Allied forces, the desecrated body of a woman is found drowned. Her name was Martha. In a statement posted to Twitter, the team claimed that the Xbox and PC versions of the game would be unaffected. However, exactly which content has been removed from the PlayStation platforms has not been disclosed. Um, Martha's Dead is a narrative adventure recommended for adult audiences only, with play consisting of potentially discomforting scenes and themes that may distress some players. In the statement, it also says that it is with regret that we have had to modify the experience on PS5 and PS4. I'm sorry, on the PS5 and PS4 versions, with some elements no longer playable. After over 4 years of passionate and hard work, developer LKA now requires extra time to make these unplanned changes. Martha is Dead, as a result, will still launch digitally on both PS5 and PS4 on Thursday, February 24th, but the physical release will be delayed. To a later disclosed date in the year. Video Games Chronicle mentioned in their hands-on preview last year that the game does indeed possess some graphic scenes, noting that it's clear Martha's Dead plans to push limits on what's been done in console horror games beyond what's already playable on the PlayStation. In an example from the demo, during one particularly disturbing dream sequence, the player has to physically cut off someone's face in unflinching graphic detail and wear it as a mask. The game also requires the player to take pictures of your sister's body as she lays in her open casket. All right, so Sony. Thanks, Corey, for pointing this out to me, because I know Sony does have like a tradition of doing this. Sony is in the habit of censoring games that come out. Here's my thing though. If based off of what I just described, if the ESRB didn't give this adults only rating, why do you think Sony flinched at it?
Like with the face being cut off and everything, with the level of violence.
The level of I've seen pretty violent games.
I think when you're the leader, when you're the leader and the platform holder, you can kind of now. LeRon, I sent you a list earlier, right? And I think some of the stuff is really ridiculous, like the Devil May Cry 5 censor. Dante picked up
what was the censor?
Dante picked up a woman, and it had an upskirt shot of her, and Sony had them censor it by doing a lens flare over the upskirt part, so like you couldn't see it.
Oh, that's so minor.
Where and obviously there's a lot of other things, right, in some of these games, but this is like, I feel like they're really aiming at a very particular type of audience. And when you're the platform holder and the leader in mindshare, in terms of where people are playing games, I think that they want to kind of, I don't know if protect is the right word, but like, a lot of kids are asking for PlayStations for Christmas and stuff. And like, it's really easy for someone to go and buy a mature rated game online. Because some parents don't know what parental controls are, or some parents don't, they just buy their kid a system and think like it's like it was when we were little, where you just pop in the game and you can play it, right? And so, I know people like that. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are like that, where, they just kind of don't really do anything with the parental controls. They just do the old thing where they just take it away, or take the controllers away, or unplug it or whatever when they don't want their kids to play it. And it's like, some of this stuff can get pretty gnarly, graphic. Like, you just don't want certain people to see certain things, and PlayStation has every right to do this. Are they wrong? I don't know. I don't think you should censor art, but at the same time, like, I watched the demo that they're supposedly censoring, and it is really graphic. Mm-hmm. It's really graphic, and I just, I don't know. I would cringe if I saw this being able to be purchased in the store, and it's not being censored on Microsoft's platforms at all. But like, I don't know. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them for censoring this.
So I was thinking about this, and my first thought came to, what kid is going to try to buy a horror game or try to buy something? But every kid, So there's when it comes to M-rated games for kids, I think the one that they're going to try to buy mostly is Grand Theft Auto. Then they are going to be trying to buy a scary game. Like what 8 or 9 year old? First of all, how they going to get that money to even buy that or anything? Who?
Uh, I I've had
I
some
mean,
friends of mine. I've had some friends of mine who are parents that have told me that they've caught their kids like buying porn with their credit cards,
yeah.
their parents' credit cards. So trust me, it's possible.
But I don't think like the 8 or 9 year old is looking to horror games. They're not looking for Resident Evil. They're not looking for Silent Hill. They're not looking for Alone in the Dark or whatever kind of horror game that they're going to be trying to buy.
I mean, I
So
think
I
it
can
depends
understand.
on.
We
I
don't
think
think this is necessarily kids though. Well, here's the thing about it. Maybe the kids aren't the ones that buy it though. Maybe
Mhm.
maybe an adult buys it and they have a kid in the house, so the kid is playing it when the adult's not around.
But do you think a kid is looking for to be like, oh, this is Martha is dead. What kind of horror game? What kind of game is this? Let me try it
yeah.
out and see what it is. Because the thing, I
I
think the
mean, they
thing
could do
about
that.
this,
They could do the thing where like maybe they play something and this is recommended to them, right? Like the Medium, for example. That's a horror
Mhm.
game. You know,
Yep.
maybe this comes up. Hey, you played this. You play. Xbox has a really good algorithm of like, hey, you like this game. Here's some other games that are just like it, and
Yeah, PS5 does it too now.
yeah, and I think like if they're playing the Medium, which was on Game Pass, right?
Mhm.
And you go to the store and it said games that you've played. Oh, you played the Medium. Here's some other things. Maybe
but do
Resident
you?
Evil pops up. Maybe uh, you know, Silent Hill HD pops up, and then maybe this pops up, and they buy it because it was suggested to them by the platform, and so they go in and buy it, and then they see stuff like this, and then someone's going to get really mad that their kid is playing something where you
But do
literally
you
cut
think?
the faces off of someone.
But do you think an 8 or 9 year old is going to grasp the gameplay and the element and be able to comprehend
Yes,
so they could get to
my
Hold
nephew
on,
is
man.
9 years old, and my nephew
Hold
is
on,
nine
man.
years old, and the only thing he wants to do is play games that are for adults.
Dude, back when I used to go to arcades, I had like 7-year-olds whipping my ass in Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're not playing. But do you think so? Do you think kids have a new level of fear that they be able to play that won't get scared and want to progress more into it?
Okay, in the electronic age that we live in now, like people get desensitized to stuff real young now.
Hmm.
hmm
You don't understand. You don't understand. Like we're in a day and age now where parents have televisions and like video game systems babysit their kids.
yeah.
We're in that day and age now. Shit,
Plus, like,
parents,
an,
we're in the middle of COVID. Like some kids are not even in school. They have a laptop, and the teacher's teaching them, live,
Yeah.
and
you
here's the
know.
really roundabout way of doing this, right? Like, and my nephew really likes Fortnite. He saw Alien and Predator in Fortnite, and he
And
wanted
started
to know
watching
where
the
those
movies.
things were from. So he started watching stuff on YouTube, and then he wanted to watch the movies, and they had to explain to him that those are rated R movies that he couldn't watch them because they're way too violent.
Oh, no, he could be like me. My dad actually took my 11-year-old
Right,
ass to see Aliens,
we grew up in
and I had
the
night terrors
80s.
for the rest
But
of my.
we grew up in the 80s where that was normal, and we're not as connected as we are now, right? They
Right.
can go like you see a 30-second commercial for Terminator on TV, and you want to go
And
see it
that's the coolest shit.
because it's
Yeah,
Arnold and he's blowing away dudes and he's a robot, right? We're so connected now that like if you want to, like, you could probably torrent something that you see somewhere and
Mhm.
30 seconds and play it or watch it, and nobody will ever know because you know how to do stuff, right?
yeah.
I think, and that's why when I was thinking about this, about the censorship thing, like I don't have no problem with it. I didn't even know about the game until this story came up. Um,
Yeah, I never heard of it either, and
I never heard.
it was trending
I never
on
heard of it
Twitter
either.
yesterday, and I was like,
yeah,
"What is this?"
yeah,
It became
Yeah.
like big news.
yeah, it just. Yeah, it just came to my mind. I was thinking about what kids are playing this because I know Fortnite and stuff and
Well,
those kind of games are popular.
I
But but
think I think I don't even think it's so much the kids. I think it's that if you think about how like certain companies were swearing up and down that Grand Theft Auto games would damage their brand. Weren't you talking about the hot coffee code a while back?
Yeah, with the PC.
On Nintendo, you weren't you talking about that? And
That
Yeah.
coffee's so hot.
that could damage a brand. Like shit. Like I guarantee you, just like how they call Disney the mouse, I guarantee you, the Mario was like, please don't have this shit in our, in our copies,
And I know,
or we will shut your company down.
and we know that Manhunt 2 got censored for Nintendo, but that was more of the ESRB.
It
They
did.
censored
Manhunt
that.
2 did not get censored for Wii.
I thought it did. For
No.
ESRB.
No,
It
it got
was
censored when it was on the
exclusive.
PS2,
It was exclusive, and then
that port came to the Switch.
and parents were getting mad because it was literally a game about murdering people on the Wii, where you literally had the nunchuck and the remote with the string in the middle, and you had to motion like you're getting ready to choke someone out. That was a literal mechanic, and people were getting mad that they were teaching kids how to strangle people.
Because I
And
know,
it's like,
I know,
but this game again, this game has an M rating on it, and parents go into the store, right? It's like there's like that stupid YouTube video.
This game.
Yeah, we're gonna buy him this game while the parents on the phone because they don't care, right?
Yeah.
And then you get situations like this.
Well, and that's why I was just thinking with kids, because that's that. I just think, and like I said, it's a personal thing. I was just thinking, like, what kid has played a horror game? Like, it would boggle my mind.
You're
I
getting
feel like
caught in the
we're-
weeds. You're getting caught in the
I know.
weeds a little too much here.
I think it boggles my mind that because I know this is a horror game and I know it's being censored and everything, and people are getting mad. But the first thing when we think about censorship, and when it comes to Sony, they think they're censoring something because the kids are going to get their hands on it. That's kind of like the idea of it.
Well, I
Not-
mean, again,
not
in
the
the digital
depiction.
age, with lack of parental controls and credit cards being attached to parents' accounts because they just set it up to shut their kids up, they could go in the store. Somewhere this is probably featured either in like a sale or like the horror section or whatever, and they buy it. And again, so I don't know. I feel like we're talking in circles now.
Yeah, for real. There is one thing though. In the Twitch chat right now, Raish says, number one, kids have been reared on higher tech than we grew up learning. Kids are still impressionable though, so like, yeah, just like how like like we hear like kids mimicking stuff that they see on television and stuff. Same thing applies here with video games.
I mean, it's not just television anymore. It's Twitter, it's TikTok, it's Snapchat, it's Facebook. It's like
music.
They go through all this stuff. Their favorite YouTube creators, their favorite Twitch streamers, right? Like they have so much access to things outside.
I just think of the Tide Pod Challenge. I just think of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And
I feel like TV is like 6th or 7th on that list at this point.
I think I would love to see a kid grasp the gameplay of Martha's Dead.
Well, you can go conduct that experiment on your own time.
Come on, man.
No, but I
don't think it's that far fetched. I really don't, because in all seriousness, like I lived with a 2-year-old, and I was playing Monster Hunter on the Switch, and he wanted to play so bad, so I gave him the controller. I was like, sure, like, I'll just roll my save, like, if he dies or whatnot. And I actually sat there, I watched him for like 10 whole minutes, and he was starting to pick things up. A 2-year-old was starting to pick things up on Monster Hunter, which back in the day, Monster Hunter had the highest level of entry. And I'd still say it still does right now, except that I've been playing the game for 15 plus years, so I know how to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, if the game is average or anything, I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised. I think this controversy is gonna make it get sales because now people know about it. But yeah,
it's gonna get sales. It's gonna get sales for sure. But the problem is like it's people are still gonna be wondering what they missed.
Yeah.
And I have a funny feeling that like if that preview copy came out, and according to Video Games Chronicle, like what they've seen, that wasn't what got removed, then what the hell got removed?
Yeah. I feel like we haven't let Austin talk at all this episode. I feel really bad.
Sorry, Austin.
Well, I just hope maybe it's something like that, and it's not since it is Axis and Allies. If it's like the Nazi stuff gets taken out, like I feel that would be a bummer of a thing to take out, like the main. I mean, like taking Nazis out of Wolfenstein, because that's a thing now that we're taking out of media. Because how dare we learn history? But that would be the thing I'm scared of. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play this game. You're right. Like
it's not my will. It's not my wheelhouse. And after seeing that you can cut somebody's face off, I'm like, I'm not a fan of gore.
Right.
So I know this is not for me.
Being the young one in Boss Rush, and I'll take that as like a compliment or whatever. But
in 5 years when we all retire, you have to keep it going.
I grew up on like LiveLink, which is if you want to have a messed up time, or Reddit or all that stuff. Like there are things that I've seen that people just even like 5 or 6 years older than me are like, why would you watch that? And it's like, I don't know. Like at this point, like nothing surprises me anymore. I've seen beheading so many times that once I see it, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like it's just like it's like at that point at this.
There used to be a website. I don't know if it exists anymore. It probably does. Rotten.com or whatever.
Yes.
And they would just post a bunch of videos and pictures of like the grossest crap. Like this guy who got run over by a train, and they would show his face after he got hit by a train. It's like, why are you showing this? Why does this exist?
And the sad part is like sometimes you wind up there and it's like you should look away, but you're stuck. You're like transfixed to it because I saw a video of a dude actually get crushed to death. Like he was trying to move something off of a truck and the brake wasn't engaged, so the truck rolled into him, but it rolled into him in a bad way where he got pinned between a concrete wall and the truck. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a thing.
Next time on After Dark, I'll just explain all the most messed up videos I've seen from your mom's house live. I mean, your
mom's house.
Wow.
Your mom's house is live. The live episodes are
interesting.
They take the craziest stuff from LiveLink and put it all in one and let you watch it.
Wow,
it's pretty horrible. And I'll explain.
Wow.
But not on this show. Not on this show.
You know what? You know what? This is a wonderful time to wrap up the show.
But to end, PlayStation can do whatever they want. I mean, if that's how they want to roll things, that's how they want to run things, and let them suffer the consequences. If I was going to play this game, I would definitely play it on Xbox, though, because I want the full version if I were to play this game. I think this is too crazy for me, though. Like,
and that's a part of me. I'm really curious. What are we talking like? What happened in Little Big Planet where they had to remove a song because like it had Islamic Islamic lyrics in it?
Right.
I mean, we
don't know what it could have got removed if cutting somebody's face off and then taking pictures of your dead sister's body in a casket wasn't enough for wasn't enough to get removed. What did get removed?
Plus, you never know what people are working on. Like, there's a story like where Capcom, some of their like Saudi Arabia owns 5% of their company now, and just that small purchase like could affect decisions that Capcom makes,
or like all these other companies. All these other companies that like China owns, or like Tencent, or some Chinese company owns, where they have to remove anything that talks bad about China or Tibet or Hong Kong, anything that mentions the Hong Kong Revolution or whatever.
Or even EA had to remove the Sims DLC just because there was a lesbian couple, just because for Russia. They were like, well, we're not just going to sell it to Russia now. So, I mean, who knows what's all in the background of these things?
I mean, there's also, it's not just China and the Saudi whatever, but like up until like a year ago, all the Wolfenstein games were censored. They weren't allowed to have swastikas or any mention of the Nazis. They were just different bad guys.
So is this, if this game is based on World War II, it's possible that the Japanese is portrayed.
Yeah, with that too. Yeah.
Sony is a Japanese company, and if that
Mhm.
hit too close to home, then
That too.
I mean,
I
there's
think,
plenty of things that could happen.
yeah, I think for the last thing for me is that whatever they depict or something, I think a lot of people are going to compare it to The Last of Us Part Two, because of how violent that game is, and some of the things that Sony allowed in that game, and even though that is a first party
Yeah, but
title,
you're not
I think
cutting somebody's face off with a dull
I know,
razor blade.
I know. I'm just talking about the
You're just
comparison.
bashing Joel's head in. That's
Right.
nothing.
I'm just talking.
Wait. What?
What?
What? I'm just talking about the comparison of
Wait. They did what to Joel?
Never mind.
No. I'm being serious right now. I haven't played the game yet. Like, it's been sitting on
I
my.
haven't either, but I've been spoiled to death on it.
Yeah,
by
no, that
this
game's
point.
been spoiled. Yeah,
So
the way
I
they
will play
merged.
it.
Well,
but
If something happened to Joel, I will riot.
well, you might not want
get
to
out
play
your
Last of
riot
Us Part
shield
2.
and your
right.
Yeah.
protective gear, because
Fucking hell.
But just
Seems
I
pretty
think that's
gruesome.
the comparison that they would just use The Last of Us 2 Part 2 and all the violence that's in there and
Yeah.
compare it to this one. So
I mean, I don't care about The Last of Us either. So like, I that game's been spoiled to death too.
Yep.
Me.
Good night, everybody. Good. No. Good times though. Good times. All right. Well, I think we've spoken.
I want to come
about,
back more often. This is fun.
about all the topics. I think we did. So you know what? At this point, all I have to say is that's our show for tonight. Not serious. It's getting late.
Get ready for round 2.
All right. As always, we'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning in to Crossroads PlayStation Podcast, as well as a big thanks to our guest tonight, Corey and Ed. Thank you very much, guys.
Welcome.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Before we head out, here's how you can get connected to the crew. Ed, you went first, so Corey, it's your turn this time.
Oh boy. You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast, as well as a plethora of other things here, including recent episodes of Nintendo Power Block and Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast.
All right. Ed, you're up.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that virtual coach. You can check out Nintendo Power Block on Wednesdays. We do go live on Mondays at 7:30, 8:30 Eastern time. You can also check me out on 1v1, a little bit some standard definitions and expansion pass. And also check out my writings at bossrush.net. I have an article up for Cyberpunk 2077 and for Nintendo's Direct that you guys could go and read. And check out some of my editorials on Boss Rush Network also.
All right. Awesome.
You can find me at PlayStation on Twitter, Instagram, PSN, all that good. And you can catch me here every Tuesday. Same time.
All right. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Exodus803. That's also my my Twitch, my YouTube handle. It's also my PSN gamer tag. Basically look for me at Exodus803. Like, you can find me on Steam as well. Exodus0803 on Xbox Live. Yeah, don't ask. Sore subject.
There's an extra 0 in there.
Yeah. Do head out to Boss Rush Network on Twitch.tv, and on Wednesday nights, where Corey and I are part of the Boss Rush podcast. And if you're a patron at that Boss Rush thing there's a show called After Dark that you might want to check out as well. So there's that. Also, we have merch. Might want to check that out. Links have been provided. Before we head out, though, here's some things you may want to check out over at bossrush.net right now. Patrick Nisley asks, will virtual reality gaming go mainstream in the February 15th edition of Boss Rush Banner? Mark Pereira gives us the lowdown on what to watch before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness comes out. And our friend Seamus the Kilted Gamer pins a wonderful editorial called The Open World, how and why it has become my favorite kind of game. You should check it out. And also, all that and more can be found over at bossrush.net. So head there and check out more editorials and shows from our ever-growing family of creators and contributors. If you like to talk about games, things of that nature, join the Boss Rush Discord. Where there's also a Crossroads PlayStation podcast server, just in case, As always, you can chat with us and keep the conversation going over on Twitter at ps_Crossroads. Dish on more news, events, and topics while we're getting ready for the next installment of Crossroads. This has been episode 70 of Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. Come back and join us for another new episode of Crossroads PlayStation Podcast whenever you get a chance. As part of the Boss Rush Games family, we all want you to go out and have a great night and play games. Be better. We love you guys. Y'all have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.